Jason Benetti along with Sarah Kustok. Brad Heller will join us later from the Westwood One Broadcast Center. Back-to-back national champions, the Connecticut Huskies, right in front of us here in Raleigh, warming up, trying to go 3 in a row. The Florida Gators tried to do that in 2008. They ended up in the NIT. UConn's already bypassed them. The question is, can the Huskies take down maybe the prohibitive favorite after their SEC tournament run to win this thing, although they got kind of caught in the muck against Norfolk State in the second half on Friday? What do you make of this, Sarah Kustok?
I think what I make of it is a tremendous game that we're about to get set to see. One, because of the cachet, because of the resumes of both of these groups, but also the contrasting styles. And both of these teams understand the importance, in Todd Golden and Dan Hurley, how their groups need to impose their wills. Who will be able to dictate that will tell us a lot here, especially right out of the gates.
UConn is 342nd in tempo this year. Florida is 43rd. Who owns the metronome? The one thing UConn knows about this Gators team that's won 31 times this year is they have 2 of everything at every position, says Dan Hurley.
They're old on the perimeter, so they're good defensively there, and they got the length in the front court, so they're really in depth there, so they're formidable. But for us, we've got to try to frustrate them and put them into a type of game that they probably don't want to play, which is long possessions of defense. We can't be afraid to go late into the shot clock and try to minimize possessions in the game.
That's what you have to do against this Florida team that is so willing to run. They won that game against Norfolk State on Friday, 95-69. Elijah Martin, their grad student guard, the transfer from FAU, came over to the table, and we asked him what his team's got to do. And he said, we got to stop thinking about winning 6 games instead of 1 game. And Todd Golden, that's a mixed message and a mixed bag for him.
If you slip up and one across the way, you're just going home. So it's kind of balancing that fine line of making sure you stay in the moment with also having the big goals ahead of you. But, yeah, our guys, especially our senior leaders, have done a great job all year of kind of keeping our guys focused and making sure we maintain our edge.
You want a guy saying, hey, we're going to play 6 games, right? But you can't play all 6 at once. How do you do that, Sarah?
Well, a part of it is just taking care of things early, but also sustaining that. I think that was part of the issue with Florida, and give credit to Norfolk State. They set the tone right away. They were locked in. They were sharp. They were effective and efficient, but they let their foot off the gas just a little bit. And you got to understand that potentially against a team like Norfolk State, you can still pull things away because you had a double-digit lead. Not the same when you're playing a team like UConn, who understands that they are much better than what the record and seeding may show this season.
And they know how to play in these tournament games. They've won 13 consecutive NCAA tournament games the past 3 years now. Huskies trying to get back to the title game. The Florida Gators trying to do that and knock out the back-to-back defending champs. Up next, Florida and UConn from the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. This is the men's basketball tournament.
Smiles are powerful. A simple smile can light up a whole room. And for 25 years, Smile Train has been lighting up the world with smiles. And each smile marks a step towards a brighter future. As the world's largest cleft lip and palate charity, Smile Train has supported more than 2 million life-changing cleft surgeries in over 90 countries, leaving a legacy of resilience, joy, and beaming smiles for generations of children. To learn more about cleft lips and palates and how Smile Train is supporting the cleft community all over the world, please visit smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, lighting up the world with smiles for 25 years.
The Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council present the story of Cynthia and Ed.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, out of the blue, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn or just stay at the stop sign. She wasn't even really sure where she was at. She was very concerned. It was very unsettling for her.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it, to bring the family in on it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The lights are out at the Lenovo Center. We are ready. The spotlight is on the March Madness logo, and this crowd is roaring. UConn and Florida, our first game of the day. Time now for the keys to the game, sponsored by Realtors. Buying a home can be a lot, but with the ethical expertise of a Realtor, you don't have to do it alone. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. All right, Sarah Kustok, let's start with the top seed, the Florida Gators. How do they move on to the Sweet 16?
It starts with getting a lead, and then that will allow them to play at the pace that they want to. But I think setting the tone early and feeling like themselves is part of it. And, of course, taking care of the basketball is going to be huge because you can't allow extra possessions for this UConn team. When it comes to UConn, so much of what they do comes down to not just execution on the offensive end, but making shots. A three-point shot is going to be valuable in defending the post. And we know that Florida is littered with great guard play, but they are dominant on the inside. They have depth in their front court, so you've got to be able to protect the paint if you're the Huskies. UConn
just 6 made threes in the opening round against Oklahoma. Let's check the starting lineups. Sponsored by Cintas. Workdays are better when you partner with Cintas. Keep your team protected, prepared, and looking great. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday. For the Florida Gators, their guards get them about 45 points per game. Elijah Martin, the grad transfer from FAU at 6'2". Walter Clayton Jr., who UConn knows very well from a tournament game a couple of years ago. And a first-team All-SEC guy in his own right, Will Richard, is the third guard, who had just 8 in the opening round game. Ruben Chinyelu, the sophomore big man, the barrel-chested big guy, joined by Alex Condon, the Aussie, down low, another sophomore. Martin, Clayton Jr., and Richard, Chinyelu, and Condon. For Todd Golden, who got his first NCAA tournament win as a head coach on Friday night. For UConn, the two-time defending champs, Hassan Diarra, former Big East Sixth Man of the Year, so important at the steering wheel, the point guard for Connecticut. Solo ball, had a couple of big defensive plays. Friday night, he's a sophomore guard, instant scoring. Liam McNeely, just 2 for 18 in threes in his last 4 games. The freshman trying to tune it up. Alex Caravan, who hit the really important shot late against Oklahoma. And Samson Johnson down low, the senior from Togo, who is the winningest player in UConn history as of Friday night. Diarra, Ball, and McNeely, Caravan, and Johnson. For Dan Hurley, who continues to win in the NCAA tournament, 13 consecutive victories, tied for the second longest streak all time with the Duke Blue Devils from 91 to 93. They happen to win back-to-back titles as well. That's how you rattle off 13 straight. What a contrast this game is, but two cornerstone programs in college basketball. And I love what Dan Hurley said about being such a fan of Billy Donovan. He understands the annals of history in college basketball. This is very important to him today.
Very important, and on a lot of levels, too. I think when you talk about just the different players and how they've been playing as of late, there's been a feel for more from this Huskies team. And given how deep they've went in the postseason, coming back-to-back national titles, I don't think they're ready to go home. And in a winner-go-home setting against a Florida team that has got so many players who came here to play for the Gators to win a national title, the emotions are running high, and I think you can feel it here in this building right now.
Very much so. As the players tuck in their jerseys, time now for the opening tip, sponsored by AutoZone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. And they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Chinyelu versus Johnson. UConn in the navy blue, Florida in the white. The tap is flicked off to the near side and picked up by Condon for the Gators. They go right to left on a lob pass immediately into the offense. Elijah Martin palms the ball high left. Around the arc it goes for Richard on the weave. The senior guard drops it for Clayton, who can just tee it up from anywhere. He'll spin it right for a Martin drive. Down the back door for a right-hand finish with a flourish. A stuff makes it 2-0 Florida.
That's a beautiful play. The weave came early, and then the backdoor cut along the baseline caught UConn off guard from that right side.
24 seconds to score for the Gators. An NBA shot clock worth. That's how they might play today. It's a three triggered from Caravan left wing. Front iron. Rebound cleared by Clayton Jr. for Florida. He'll meander into the front court, kill the dribble, shove in a bounce pass to the foul line. Condon on a handoff. He's got Richard. Step back two above the foul line. It hits just the backboard. It's spiked down to the deck and picked up by Martin in the right corner for the Gators. Through Condon, 12 to shoot. A left-handed dribble, waist high, and a handoff for Richard right of the circle. Tuck it in mid-post. Chinyalu spinning, firing. No good right block against McNeely in the rebound. Hugged down by Samson Johnson. We're 1:12 in. It's 2-0 Florida. UConn on the ball. Huskies basketball, Hassan Diarra. Outside right, the senior navigator for this team. Pushing it right side for ball. Richard picks him up. Now off to McNeely at the H in March. To ball, left wing triple in the air, around and out, rebound tapped to Florida. Richard trotting up the right sideline, tries a lob, it's beyond Condon and out of bounds, and that's hard to do. He has like a Justin Jefferson-like catch radius. It's a turnover, Florida.
Credit to Solo Ball. He was mismatched there in transition defense, but did enough to push Condon off his spot. That's what led to the pass going out of bounds.
Gotta be careful for the lob here if you're UConn all day long. Diarra, a pendulum dribble, shoved away by Richard. He'll toss for McNeely. On a drive, wheeling in the lane. Back pivot, fire, off the back iron. A soaring Samson Johnson collapses on the rebound, and he's undercut. It's a foul on Florida, but Samson Johnson, for a moment, was the fifth tallest building in the world.
Well, Samson Johnson came flying in from the left wing, well over three Gator defenders that were right inside the basket battling with Caravan. That's exactly what you're going to need to do if you're the Huskies. Extra effort plays on the inside.
13 straight games. They've either out-rebounded or tied the opponent on the glass. Now Johnson steps through, right block. His lefty shot is way short. And the rebound for the Gators up 2-0, 17:55 in the first. Clayton bluffed to three, hooks it past Condon. Play it back for Clayton, stepping back on a three left wing. That's too strong. Offensive rebound, one arm by Chinyalu, and he rises to score low right. It's 4-0 Florida, 2:20 in.
Johnson was trying to block him out on the right block, but Chinyalu just too big and too wide. That's going to be a matchup to watch here today.
Florida, a top 6 offensive rebounding team in the country. Dan Hurley talked about how important that is today. Caravan, top of the key, feigned to three, steps into a pass for ball, driving down the back door, drop it off Johnson, mid-lane. He rises and can't score an air ball. Rebound pried free by Condon to Caravan. Spin it McNeely, left wing, rifle for three at the horn. That's no good. Rebound Clayton, hit ahead for Florida. Richard a lob, down the middle of the lane, and a stuff for Elijah Martin, who hangs on the rim. That came from above the wing for a 6-0 chomp for the Gators.
Richard puts the pass on point from the left side of the court all the way over the top to the right.
Just brilliant from these guards. Here is Solo Ball, catching, bluffing a three. He'll let it ride. Top of the key, no dice. Rebound tipped by Caravan to himself. Off to McNeely. Swooping in left wing. Push it left side, Caravan. He's blocked off. Back to McNeely for three. That's down, and it's enormous for the freshman McNeely, who was cold the last 2 games. 6-3 Florida.
And I like that he took that look so quickly after missing the previous possession from three.
Dan Hurley said he was really wearing that the last couple games as Clayton nearly has it taken away. He'll traipse down the lane, left side of the lane, hook a pass over his head, right wing. Martin probing, right short corner. He'll step back with 8 to shoot for Florida. Pass redirected, right back to him. Scoop it right side, Richard a lob through the hands of Chinyalu, weak side left. Taken by UConn, left to right. Diarra tiptoeing into the front court, and we'll see if they work into their offense or take an early shot. Caravan guns a three, right wing. Missed it left. Rebound down for Condon in traffic for Florida. Caravan willing to shoot, Sarah.
Good contest. He is. Good contest, though, by Florida coming out tight.
Condon a drive. He wheels in the lane. Zings a pass. Intercepted by Ball. He gets knocked down. Richard gets a hand on it. Bodies everywhere. It's thrown to Diarra. He blitzes in the front court. Down the right side flank. Skipping it left. Caught by Caravan. Off to McNeely. Top of the key three. Let it ride. No good. Short. Rebound for Samson Johnson on the offensive side for UConn. Throw it right. Ball catapults a three. Off the back iron, and the rebound collected by Elijah Martin for Florida. Up 6-3. 15-10 first half. Clayton down the lane, lost the ball, out of bounds, off of Clayton, and UConn will take over. This feels like a title game right now.
Scrappy play and not a lot of clean looks for either side just yet.
15:07 to go. First half, there's a timeout on the court, sponsored by Rocket. Own the dream. Florida 6, UConn 3, 15:07, half number 1. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
Too late to act on climate. No one is above the law. At Earth Justice, we hold these beliefs to be self-evident. As a national legal nonprofit fighting for your right to a healthy environment, we are 150-plus lawyers representing clients.
What's up, insiders, basketball fans all over the world? Thank you so much for hanging out with us today during March Madness. Oh man, we're having so much fun. We've got streams going for every single game of the tournament. We're tracking our brackets. It's a lot of fun in the chat. Please chat it up. Hit that like button down below and share this link out. That's going to be the best way to bring more basketball fans here to the chat. And we're already seeing thousands of fans come into the first stream of 16 on Thursday. I'm going to let Joe take it home. We appreciate you being here.
This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So like, subscribe, and share, because every click impacts SickKids' mission to heal the future.
I used to lack confidence until I shopped for a used car with Carfax. With Carfax, I was able to pause for the facts. I saw all the facts, like millions of cars, reported vehicle histories, and found the best values. Thanks to Carfax, I had the confidence to shop like a pro. Facts. A pro car shopper who feels like a winning ping pong champion. Facts. The ping pong champ whose legendary story is now a blockbuster movie. Facts. Starring me, Little Miss Confident. Yeah! Sorry, you get it. Shop the all-new-Carfax.com.
Meanwhile at Xfinity.
Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered a super fast connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do!
Yeah?
Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with two people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speeds vary. Not guaranteed.
That's some great non-conference wins. They beat Gonzaga, beat Baylor, won at Texas. That loss at Seton Hall, their entire coaching staff laments that loss. That's kind of the reason they're in this 8-9 situation they're in. Emotion real high so far.
At this point, though, you got to put that aside and just concentrate on your task at hand. And thus far, you like the way that the ball has been moving and the shots that have been created.
Caravan left of the circle, three, no good. Offensive rebound for UConn, tossed out by Stewart to McNeely. Above the foul line, Reed bowling in. He's knocked away by Handlogton, and around the arc for Diarra, who hops into a pass at the left wing, and it's tipped out of bounds by the 7-footer Handlogton. It's 7-1. He could have redshirted this year. Multiple surgeries last season, and he ends up wanting to play so badly with this team.
And you understand why, though. The intent is to compete for a national title, and you do not forgo an opportunity to take part in that, especially given the importance that he's brought to the table. Todd Golden said he's like a pickup we get at trade deadline.
Takeaway on the inbound pass by Martin down the right side. His first shot blocked. His second one is up and in. Elijah Martin playing the passing lane. He has 6 early for Florida. The Gators by 5, 8-3, 14-24 in the first. That transition so important for the Gators.
Taking care of the basketball, that much more important, too, for the Huskies.
We sub in Terrace Reed Jr. It's a tag team effort. Him and Johnson down in the post. Caravan whips it left. McNeely above the head on the drive. He's warded off by Hauk, who hands him off to Handlogden. Top of the key, Stewart. Back to McNeely. 4 to shoot. Driving left wing. Kick it out left wing. Stewart, 3. Got it. Wow, Jalen Stewart's 24th of the year from 3, and it's 8-6. Florida.
Stepped in the game first round against Oklahoma, did the same thing.
Takeaway by UConn, Terrace Reed Jr. Stewart hits it ahead for Diarra. Jalen Stewart's minutes are climbing the last 4 games. Diarra bumps right into Clayton, lost the ball right at the midline. Clayton hemming him in at center court. And he'll toss it right side. McNeely, 14 to shoot for Connecticut, and an 8-6 score. He snaps off a 3, top of the key. It's wide right. Too strong off the back iron, and the rebound for Hauk and Florida. Gators do have 5 turnovers early. Denzel Aberdeen, a defensive stopper, jockeying the dribble and sending it in orbit around the arc. Martin is bumped by Terrace Reed Jr. right of the circle, and it'll go against UConn. UConn, by the way, so far, 14 shots, 11 have come from 3. They're 2 for 11, and they're hanging right around because of the defense. It's 8-6 Gators as the foul on Reed is his first. Dan Hurley had to really navigate through big-time foul trouble in that first game on Friday.
And it's going to be an important factor here today, given availability of the floor and the depth of this Florida team.
Yeah, maybe they use that in the second half especially as Martin speeds into a catch, right wing. He'll let it fly for 3 and knock it down. It's Elijah Martin day so far in Raleigh. He's got 9 of the 11 for Florida, 12:52 in the first.
Took care of the mismatch with Samson Johnson on him, gave him way too much room, drains the shot.
Just had to back off. Johnson back in with the foul on Terrace Reed. Aiden Mahaney into the game, the St. Mary's transfer, running the show for UConn right now. He's mirrored by Martin. Toss it right side ball, using the dribble to hook a pass for Samson Johnson. Below the arc, just barely on the right side. Into Handlogden, handoff, 2 to shoot. Caravan to Johnson. He rises and clangs it down. Low on the right side again at the shot clock horn. 11-8 Florida with the lead over Connecticut. Urban Klaujar into the ball game, the sophomore from Slovenia, the guard for Florida in the pink shoes. Wraparound pass, Handlogden steps inside, trying to snap off a pass, batted away, blocked by Caravan. UConn left to right. Ball snakes into the front court, right of the circle. Watched by Aberdeen, who gets around the Johnson screen. Ball, foul line rip. No good short. Johnson couldn't clamp down on the rebound. He looked like a gator chomp, actually. And the board for Florida, moving right to left. Aberdeen around a Handlogden screen. Pendulums the dribble, fires just below the foul line. Shot no good. Handlogden paws at it. Johnson clears it, and we have a reach in and a tie-up called. It will go to the UConn Huskies when we come back. This is furious action right now, huh?
Amazing.
This
more of it,
yeah,
please.
Feed us. Timeout on the court. The score, Florida 11, UConn 8. Dan Hurley on the floor as well, talking to our officiating crew about the tie-up. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
You can just move through life, or you can find the things that move you. It's your choice. Choose joy. Choose the road. Choose your shot. Take it. Choose to get in there. Choose your calling. Choose your path. Just choose. We craft cars for those who choose to do more than simply move. You know who you are. Mazda. Move and be moved.
I wake up.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the Dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
The beauty of a tournament cheat sheet is that someone else spent thousands of hours watching film and analyzing stats, so you didn't have to. When it comes to hiring for your small business, LinkedIn does the same thing with candidates. LinkedIn delivers the strongest hiring data and insights to help you identify the right candidates to make the best hiring decisions. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/SXM. That's linkedin.com/SXM. Terms and conditions apply.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's with limited time savings on the supplies pros need. Get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $100 on every $1,000 you spend on select major appliances. And don't miss your chance to activate and earn 3 times the points on select DeWalt and Klein tools. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 3/28. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details on qualifying items.
And Sarah Kustok here at our Grainger courtside seats in Raleigh. Gain a winning edge for your business with Grainger. Get fast delivery of industrial-grade supplies to help keep your operations going when you call 1-800-GRAINGER or click Grainger.com. It's Florida 11, UConn 8, 11:40 to go, half number 1. The UConn cheerleaders on the floor like Dan Hurley was as we went to the break, talking over the tie-up. He thought there was a reach-in foul. He didn't get stiff-armed by an official at a monitor, though, so far, so we've upgraded from Friday.
We've still got a half and a left. A half and another half left.
We do.
A half and a half.
A half and a half. What do you make of this first half of the first half?
What I've seen is excellent execution in creating looks by both sides. Have just not seen shots fall at the rate they would like to, but overall a ton of pressure on the defensive end, getting into bodies. You can understand that both the Huskies and Gators are trying to disrupt each other's offense to create turnovers, and thus far I think overall no one's been able to capitalize on that, but it's something that you're going to have to continue to watch and monitor given how much each side wants to dictate tempo.
Already 6 Florida Gator turnovers on an average of 10 per game, 10.5. UConn basketball. Ball catapults a 3 and gets fouled by Klaujar at the last S in madness, which is basically what that foul is. Clayton did it a couple of times against Norfolk State, and Florida gets its own medicine. Solo ball, 3 free throws.
And these are killers for a team just because a player like Solo Ball sees it go through and then he can catch a rhythm from the three-point shot, though he does not see it go through.
Not see that one go through. It hit the front iron. You heard it in your living room. No good. Second foul shot as he's got his toes with the white sneakers on the line. It is up and it is good. 11-9 Florida. Do you like your protein crunchy, chewy, salty, or sweet? If you've got goals, Quest has cheats. From bars to protein milkshakes to chips and crackers, Quest Nutrition is big on protein, low on sugar, and huge on flavor. It's basically cheating. Third foul shot is good. 11-10. UConn within 1. They were down 6-love early. They have not led. Florida basketball in the white and blue piping. Houck turns it top of the key. Around the arc. On a 3, right side. In the air. Clayton, no good. Rebound down for Houck. A power dribble. He'll rise and get fouled in between Caravan and Stewart. And Thomas Houck, who gets to the free throw line while he's on the rental car shuttle, while he's eating lunch, and just about every other time during the day, we'll go there.
Because he's on the weak side of the floor as the three-point shot goes up from the right side. And it's just him and Alex Caravan trying to block him out. And he's very tough to keep off the glass when it's single coverage, even off of a block out.
First foul shot hits the front iron and goes down. Foul by Stewart. So 12-10 Florida. Robinhood Gold gets you a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions. The new gold standard is here. Sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Houck out of Pennsylvania. New Oxford, Pennsylvania. His football in his family history as the free throw rattles down 13-10. But he is a bull in a china shop, in part because his grandfather was a football player in the NFL. His dad played football at Shippensburg. And Houck, who got into a growth spurt, turned into a basketball guy, but he plays it like it's football. UConn basketball near pickpocket by Richard against McNeely, who has to stonewall and throw it up top for Mahaney. Off a screen from Johnson. He'll roll. Mahaney floats it up to him low on the left side, and Johnson elevates. He can't score in traffic. Rebound Chinyalu for Florida. on the hit ahead. Clayton jockeys the dribble right down the boulevard. Lays it up. He is fouled. Clayton was bumped. It was a near goaltend as well. They will count it. Ron Groover, after a discussion, will count the bucket. Clayton had that ball on the way down. Possibly it was wiped away by Johnson. They're going to take a look at it. So if they count it, they can look at it. And on the replay we see, that's really close, Sarah.
In live action, it looked like a goaltend to me.
Call for goaltending is under review.
There's the review.
And as we see it in slow motion, a little bit tougher to tell. There wasn't a lot of elevation on the shot.
So Ron Groover had a foul. Samson Johnson just fingertipped it away. Mahaney was down below, might have gotten the body. He's the one called for the foul.
And Mahaney did get the body.
I don't think that's a goaltend as we're watching it. But the question is, Sarah, is there enough
evidence to overturn?
Exactly.
The call for goaltending has been reversed. It's an illegal block. It will be a 2-shot foul.
You know, it's a good job by the officials to call it so they can review it. But the thing about that is it does change the evidentiary standard. If you don't call it, then you can't look at it. But if you have to overturn it, then you need all that evidence. So Dan Hurley, glasses off, over at the sideline, talking to our officiating crew. Foul shot for Clayton is good. Florida by 4. Later on, we'll select the smart coaching move of the day, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. First team all SEC, Clayton Jr. Second one is through, all net, 15-10. Florida the lead, 10:45 in the first. Winner gets either Maryland or Colorado State out west in San Francisco. UConn basketball high on the right. McNeely, 2 hands it up top. Solo ball, surveying the scene. Well off him is Condon, the defender. Zip it down low, mid lane. Stewart rises, scores, and a foul. Jalen Stewart, massive minutes early for UConn, who's within 3 at 15-12.
On the left side of the floor, there was a miscommunication between Aberdeen and Clayton. If they were switching, it left Stewart wide open on that left block for the lay-in.
You don't see that a whole lot from the Gators. They got beat off the bounce some against Norfolk State as Stewart fires the free throw and scores it. Just his 18th free throw make this year, 15-13.
And that's where UConn's offense factors in, how much you are thinking through all of these actions and sets that they run.
Especially late in the shot clock. Aberdeen with the ball, tried to turn it right. They'll reverse it through Condon, looking left. He dribbles a couple times, shoves it for a backdoor Clayton. Midair pass around the arc, caught by Aberdeen. He'll slice through the lane, lean in, and he gets hammered and fouled, and that is Terrace Reed Jr.'s second personal. He was draped all over him, so now UConn foul trouble with the bigs at 10:05 in the first.
What Florida does a really nice job, and they did on that possession, was continue to move the basketball around the circle and then reverse it. It was the quick reverse on the right side by Aberdeen that had the entire defense shifting one way, and he was able to go another.
They'll bend the knees and fire and score to give Florida a 16-13 lead at 10:05 of the first. Spruce is a new weed and grass killer with 9 simple yet effective ingredients that are safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spruce works differently by dehydrating the weed down to the roots. Second foul shot is good. We have a lane violation. Wave it off. Lane violation against Florida. Todd Golden barking at Ron Groover, and he gave him the old, forget about it, right hand on the way down the court. It looked like it was Chinyelu who was in first against Samson Johnson. So it's UConn basketball, trailing by 3, about halfway through half number 1. Perimeter left, Stewart to Johnson, who had a very short notion of a 3. Now McNeely trying to poke and prod toward the lane. Righty floater is good. Soft touch for McNeely. He's got 5, 16-15 Florida. With that blue headband on, Liam McNeely, who had a breakout game at Madison Square Garden against Gonzaga in December. Aberdeen delivers it right, caught by Clayton on a drive. Wraparound pass around the arc. Aberdeen gets a flyby, shot fake. He'll gun it for 3 and hit the back iron. Rebound Johnson. He hits the deck. He is tripped. And Dan Hurley goes onto the floor to fire him up over the top of Samson Johnson. Foul is on Chinyelu. That's his second personal. Now, so Chinyelu has 2. Reed has 2. The thing about that is Florida has 4 bigs. UConn has 2.5. Stewart's not as tall as Johnson and Reed.
Is that how you do your math?
Yeah, it's. Thank you. Thank you for that. Homewood Flossmoor High School welcomes you. 9:09 first half. McNeely rips through with the ball high on the right side, driving in the short corner, walled off there by Martin. Wrap it around Diarra. Around the arc in orbit to Ball. He pierces the lane, steps back, bounces for Diarra. What a cut. His layup no good. Rebound redirected to Diarra. He sets up McNeely for 3. That's no good. Back iron right wing. And the board down for Richard. It was online. It was too strong. Florida basketball left end. 8:43 to go first half. 16-15 Gators in a low-scoring affair. Clayton pass first into the left corner. Richard a drive. He's stripped on the way up. Ball near the end line. It is out of bounds, and it's Connecticut basketball. Diarra got the hand in. The drive came, and Hassan Diarra just touched it off of Richard, Sarah.
It's a good play by Diarra. I'm not sure that he may not have gotten his forearm along the way of getting the basketball. Nonetheless, UConn comes up with possession.
It's the 7th turnover for the Gators already. They turned it over 12 times only in the whole game on Friday. High left, moving screen against Samson Johnson to try to set up a solo ball 3. Dan Hurley riding Courtney Green on the far side, our official. Johnson tried to screen Hauk, who sold it pretty well. Still grabbing a little. I'll say this much. So far, the officials have done a very good job of allowing these teams to play. It's been very physical, but it's even on both sides of that. Totally agree with you. Outside left, Hauk equipping Clayton left of the circle. Diarra pawing at him. A slip from Condon. Clayton all the way down the lane. His shot is blocked away by Diarra from behind. It's out of bounds over the end line to the Gators, who haven't had a field goal in about 5 minutes. UConn, I believe, Sarah, wouldn't you say, has dragged Florida into the game they want?
It's more at tempo and more at pace in the half court, and that's exactly what the Huskies are looking for.
Timeout on the court. The score, Florida 16, UConn 15. 7:58 to go. Half number 1. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Chumba Casino is now partnering with 2311 Racing. Chumba is always free to play. No purchase necessary. Find hundreds of online social casino games like bingo, solitaire, and slots with new games dropping weekly. Grab your free daily login and welcome bonus with a chance to redeem amazing prizes. Play for free today at ChumbaCasino.com. It's time to cha-cha-cha-cha-chumba. Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. A very handsome reward indeed. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Are you checking your bracket during the commercial break like the rest of us? Thanks for chatting it up and enjoying this March Madness live hangout with us. So why...
Hey, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. Please take a second, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single college basketball game of March Madness. Every single game. Speaking of which, I've got to start that next stream right now. We'll see you back in the chat. Good luck to your team.
You can just move through life, or you can find the things that move you. It's your choice. Choose joy. Choose the road. Choose your shot. Take it. Choose to get in there. Choose your calling. Choose your path. Just choose. We craft cars for those who choose to do more than simply move. You know who you are. Mazda. Move and be moved.
I wake up
Welcome back inside the Westwood One Broadcast Center in Los Angeles. I'm Brad Heller, and let's check the women's tournament scoreboard, sponsored by GoodRx. Check GoodRx for simple, smart savings on weight loss medications and other prescriptions at GoodRx.com. Second round action is underway, and in Durham, the 2-seed Duke trails the 10-seed Oregon 24-17. They've got 2 minutes left to go in the first half, so that'll be for the first spot in the Sweet 16. Winner between the Blue Devils and the Ducks will take on the winner of North Carolina and West Virginia. That game will be tomorrow. 2 1-seeds will be in action later. South Carolina will face the 9-seed Indiana, and the 1-seed UCLA will take on the 8-seed Richmond. All right, let's get you back to the Lenovo Center in Raleigh. We rejoin Jason Benetti and Sarah Kustok.
Thank you. 7:58 to go first half. Florida 16-15 over Connecticut, but the Gators are just 4 for 10 from 2. They're 56% for the year from 2. UConn's interior defense has affected this game.
Yeah, I think both defenses have been getting into bodies, showing pressure in a lot in the passing lanes. Neither of these teams shot particularly well.
Hauk snaps off the 3 right wing for Florida. He draws front iron and clears his own rebound. He throws it mid lane and taken away by Ball. Another Florida turnover, number 8 of the day. Ball waving, palm up with his right hand. Left hand dribble against Richard. UConn left to right. McNeely straight on with the goal against Hauk, who probes with the left hand, reaching in on him. A slip from Caravan left of the circle. 3 in the air. That is pure. Alex Caravan sized it up. Target hit. UConn 18-16, the first lead for the Huskies. Florida right to left. Hauk could catch mid lane. He'll elevate, can't score. Got his own rebound, snatched it away from Caravan. He'll set up Martin for 3, and that's good. The teeter-totter back to Florida from the left wing, 19-18.
And you'd love to see more of that from Florida, working the inside out. That's what opens up the three-point shots for them. That's a good pass from underneath by Hauk to Martin.
Just the second made 3 for the Gators in the game. Diarra hooks a pass for Johnson between the rings, back to Diarra. Here's Caravan, who stalls out, drives down the lane, lefty scoop shot in traffic, scores. Caravan feeling frisky from 3 and 2. He's got 5 in a row. UConn by 1.
Looking more confident with the ball in his hands. That's exactly what you want to see. He has been here before.
Massive shot against Oklahoma to help him win. Jump stop, Clayton. Fadeaway jump, left side from 8, no good. It crawled off the rim. Rebound, UConn left to right. Diarra angles into the front court right. Watched on a sidestep by Walter Clayton Jr. Diarra plays it right for McNeely, who thought about firing. Instead, he'll spin it around the arc. UConn will play that second and third side. Ball right of the circle, jumps for 3. No good. Front 10, rebound. Condon warding off Samson Johnson. Florida right to left. Martin alive, down low. What a catch by Hauk. In gridlock, and he'll elevate to score. 21-20, Florida the lead. Hauk is so important to them.
Early offense by Florida, and it had the mismatch again of solo ball on the inside trying to defend Hauk.
21-20, Florida. Back and forth we go. 5:46, first half. The last 2 back-to-back national champs in college basketball. Left side ball in close quarters with McNeely. He walks out of it, finds Caravan. Right baseline, wide open 3, no good, back iron. Offensive rebound Ball. He looked off Caravan in the corner. He'll ship it left side, McNeely. He jogs down the lane. He wheels, gets his feet set, and sends it back out for Ball, who traveled. He tried to shake Hauk, who had the defense, and a turnover UConn.
Unfortunate possession for UConn. That entire play, they had Samson Johnson on the inside, matched up against Elijah Martin. They could not get it to him.
Why did they miss him there, do you think?
I don't know.
Sometimes you just can't.
Honestly, I don't know, because he was wide open underneath the basket in the middle of the paint, demanding the ball, and those are the mismatches that you have to see to try and create some extra buckets. Florida has gotten caught a handful of times defensively with some breakdowns in those mismatches. You could see it in how they're communicating.
Florida basketball right to left. Elijah Martin hopping on the dribble, driving right wing against McNeely. He's picked up by Johnson now. Off to Clayton. Left corner triple is good. Oh, a quick trigger for Clayton and a 24-20 Florida lead. 4:59 of the first.
Florida better when they're getting early shots in the shot clock.
And a timeout, Dan Hurley, who claps and walks on the floor, but the Gator fans are standing. Albert just lost his hat in front of us. The gator, the anthropomorphic gator, was slapping himself in the face, and he dropped his hat on the floor.
Do you want it?
I would like it. He's going to find that his hat is on the ground. We're trying to tell him he just noticed. So that's fun. Florida with the lead, and that's the way the action's gone. Timeout on the court. The score, Florida 24, UConn 20, 4:54 in the first half. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the Dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am.
Hey, Insiders! Thanks so much for hanging out with us today and listening to the broadcast of this NCAA First Four March Madness matchup in our SickKids Bracket Mania campaign. All right, we are live. Check out that link that's pinned in the chat and see our amazing goal. We are on the road to passing 100,000 subscribers / insiders here on the channel. Are you an insider yet? Have you hit that subscribe button? I bet you have now. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for checking out our Bracket Mania campaign. A lot more coming up soon, especially hopefully with some help from Mr. Joe Bowen, the Hall of Fame announcer of the Toronto Maple Leafs, getting ready for that playoff run. We'll see you back in the chat.
Able to
pause for the facts.
I saw all the facts, like millions of cars, reported vehicle histories, and found the best values. Thanks to Carfax, I had the confidence to shop like a pro. Facts. A pro car shopper who feels like a winning ping pong champion. Facts. A ping pong champ whose legendary story is now a blockbuster movie. Facts. Starring me, Little Miss Confident. Yeah! Facts. Sorry, you get it. Shop the all-new Carfax.com.
Meanwhile at Xfinity.
Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered a super fast connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do!
Yeah?
Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with two people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speeds vary. Not guaranteed.
UConn and Florida, we've talked about it, the last two back-to-back national champs. They've each got the measure of each other in the NCAA tournament of the past. Florida, a winner in the Sweet 16 all the way back in 1994 on the way to its first Final Four. Dan Cross had 17. And then UConn in 2014 en route to that national title. Beat Florida in the Final Four. Fact of the game sponsored by Kohl's. Make this spring a stylish one with on-trend looks for every occasion when you shop at Kohl's and Kohl's.com, where families come first. So a brief history, but an important history in the NCAA tournament for these two schools. UConn basketball out of the Dan Hurley timeout between the circles. Caravan in Navy tossing for Johnson, who's right there with hand logged in, perimeter right. Hand off to McNeely, a two-hand catch. 10 to shoot, the freshman right down the lane. Middle of it, and he is fouled on the way through. McNeely wasn't going to be stopped by hand logged in or Hauk or Martin, and a foul on Florida.
And thus far, we've emphasized McNeely 1 of 5 from the three-point line, 2 of 7 from the field, getting to the line, getting some shorter looks, trying to continue to catch a rhythm. It's going to be really important for him and UConn.
He will go to the free throw line here, and later on we'll select the play of the day, sponsored by Old Spice. Stinking places beyond your pits. Old Spice has you covered with total body deodorant. 24/7 freshness from pits to toes with daily use. Foul shot is good for McNeely. In case you were wondering, that question on that card has 2 question marks on it for emphasis. McNeely bends the knees. Looks at the right side goal. Second shot is good. McNeely has 7 early on. That's huge news for Hurley and UConn. It's a 2-point game, 4:34 in the first. Clayton leaning over on the dribble, finding Aberdeen at the right hash mark in front of the UConn bench. In orbit around the arc for Hauk. 2-hand toss right side, caught by Martin. He jumps for 3. It's a rounded out, and a one-arm rebound into 2 for Samson Johnson and UConn, who will trot into the front court and stop it there with DR left side. The Huskies with McNeely, perimeter left. Through Stewart, now Caravan outside right. Into the right corner, just outside of the deep corner for Diarra. Swatted out by Clayton. Off to McNeely, who shimmies left. Straight on with the basket, 8 to shoot. The 7-footer hand logged in on him. He drives by him. He scoops it up off the window. No. Follow shot, weak side is there for Caravan. McNeely drew hand logged in. Caravan tied the game. Florida basketball, 24 all, 3:42 in the first. Low-scoring game. Scoop it for Houck, back to the goal. He does it about face on Caravan, leaving for Clayton at the right side. Clayton guns for 3 at the wing. He swirls it down. Clayton needs very little room to give Florida the lead by 3.
And the ball screen frees him up. You want to see more of that from Florida, the continued hold of those screens to make UConn work more on the defensive end. Huskies have done a nice job there.
Maybe expend some energy for not that deep of a bench. Todd Golden said to us, we have 9, they have 7. UConn basketball. Here's Caravan off to the right side. Through McNeely. Off to Diarra, who works out of pressure. Left side of the circle. 3 for Stewart. No good. Wide right. Rebound claimed by Johnson for UConn. He finds a cutting McNeely, who jumps to stuff it down. A sledgehammer, and McNeely's feeling fine in Raleigh. UConn within 1, 27-26, 2:49 of the first. Florida basketball at the left end. Aberdeen surveys the scene. Dribbles left for a brief step and works it there for Clayton. Taken away by Diarra. A pickpocket. He swoops in, scoops it, no. And the rebound for Houck. We get a foul on a push against Connecticut. Luke Murray is on the floor with Dan Hurley. He's talking to the officials. Hurley has his arms folded, standing at midcourt. The well-dressed UConn Sentinel will be pushed back by the officiating crew. Oh boy, a lot of emotion here. Timeout on the court, the score. Florida 27, UConn 26, 2:30 in the first. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
You can just move through life, or you can find the things that move you. It's your choice. Choose joy. Choose the road. Choose your shot. Take it. Choose to get in there. Choose your calling. Choose your path. Just choose. We craft cars for those who choose to do more than simply move. You know who you are. Mazda. Move and be moved.
I wake up.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the Dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
The beauty of a tournament cheat sheet is that someone else spent thousands of hours watching film and analyzing stats so you didn't have to. When it comes to hiring for your small business, LinkedIn does the same thing with candidates. LinkedIn delivers the strongest hiring data and insights to help you identify the right candidates to make the best hiring decisions. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/SXM. That's linkedin.com/SXM. Terms and conditions apply.
Traveling in basketball? Bad move. Traveling the world? Great move. Wherever the road takes you, Best Western is your place to take a time out and catch your breath. Because every team needs a place to regroup. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western. Book direct and save at bestwestern.com.
Here at our Grainger broadcast position in Raleigh. For the ones who get it done, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade products for all industries, fast delivery, and free technical support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Florida 27, UConn 26, 2:30 in the first. How do you think Florida's defense is handling UConn's sophisticated offense?
I think they're overthinking a little bit. And it's not that they haven't had good coverage and communication, but they're a step slow on some instances. There's been a handful of breakdowns, and just overall, I think the understanding of concepts as opposed to figuring out every single action. And you look at where the stats are at, there's a handful to point out, but one, the fact that UConn has 9 offensive rebounds, they forced 8 Florida turnovers. Those are keys for the Huskies of doing the little things against a team that is as dominant as the Gators can be.
Especially on the offensive glass. Florida basketball out of the timeout. It is Condon on the hunt, and a handoff for Martin, who squares up with McNeely at the left wing. 2:15 to go, half number 1. Martin, top of the circle, now moving left. Martin shakes and bakes against McNeely, tries to drive him. Left block, he's walled off. He shoots over him anyway and scores. Elijah Martin has 11 of the 29 for Florida, leading by 3. 2 minutes left to go, first half. McNeely as they string it along from ball to him. Here is Mahaney, the St. Mary's transfer who's played limited minutes this year, tossing to McNeely. He'll probe from the right short corner, find Mahaney on the replace, right elbow drive. Mahaney lost the ball out to McNeely. 3 right wing. That's way too strong. And the rebound, Clayton on the weak side for Florida. He'll lob it ahead for Richard, who walks it into the right corner. And off to Clayton. He fires up a 3 right of the circle. That's no good. It crawled off the rim, and the rebound is saved off of Johnson's leg to UConn. Left to right. Mahaney sprinting into the front court. Throw in left corner. Ball feigned the 3. He'll drive. Wrap a pass around. And Samson Johnson hanging on the rim to spike it down. 29-28 Florida.
And there's an example. Florida defense, everyone in position, but just standing there. Great job by the Huskies continuing to move.
It's a 1-point game. Clayton feeds Martin, swooping in left wing. Met by McNeely. Fadeaway left-hander, no good on one leg, and we have a rebound foul against the Florida Gators. Florida, a grand total of 5 fouls here in the first half. That one goes against Chinyelu. That's his 3rd personal foul for Ruben Chinyelu, the big guy downstairs for Florida. So 53 seconds to go. Half number 1. UConn trailing by 1. Dribble handoff caught by McNeely, perimeter right. He'll zip it for a long catch. Mahaney near the center line. He'll walk into position against Houck. He tries to drive him down the left side. Turns the corner at the lane line. Shot no good, and Johnson went over the back. Samson Johnson there called for his 2nd personal foul and the 7th against Connecticut. That's a big turn for both posts there, Chinyelu and Johnson.
And with Florida, not quite as impactful given the depth that they have in the front court for UConn. We mentioned what happened the other night. They need to make sure that they have a player like Sampson on the floor and available.
And they have 2 from Terrace Reed Jr. as well. So the ranks are thinning for Connecticut, whereas Florida has 4 post players they're willing to play.
And it's not just about post play, but the amount of penetration that Florida can bring in getting to the front of the rim with their guards. You need shot blockers and protection there.
Free throw is good for Will Richard. That's his first point of the ball game. He's 19 for his last 21 from the line. An average of 13 points a game for Richard. The transfer from Belmont. He bends the knees, he puts it up, and he scores again. Florida with a 31-28 lead, 37 1/10 to go. Half number 1. UConn a slow walk to the front court. Liam McNeely, the freshman. McNeely a crossover dribble. He stares at the defense of Richard. Right at the center line. It's a standoff. 15 to shoot. McNeely turns it left, caught by Johnson. Handoff Diarra at the summit against Martin. 9 to shoot for UConn, 15 in the first half. Diarra, clock bleeds down to 5. Diarra still dribbling at the hash mark. 2 to shoot. He has to catapult, and he knocks it down. It is March, isn't it? We're tied at 31. Clayton to retaliate left side. Tosses in the corner. That 3 is up, and no good. It swirled around and out for Richard. Oh, that was 3/4 down. What a fun end to this ride of 20 minutes in Raleigh in the first half, and we've gotten nowhere. We're tied at 31.
Crucial shot by Diarra. You thought that UConn had nothing going at the end of the shot clock. Martin was right in his face. Important momentum swing here going into the halftime locker room.
You wanted shot making? We got shot making here. We're tied at 31. UConn and Florida. Halftime score, The Gators and the Huskies deadlocked at 31. When we return, we'll head back to our Straight Talk Wireless studios for the halftime report. Need more data so you can stream your Jam mix on loop? Switch to Straight Talk and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. Looking for fast fun? Go for a spin at Chumba Casino. Racing's fast, but Chumba takes it up a notch. Nothing beats the rush of those high-speed spins. Big thrills, daily bonus boost, action-packed games. Chumba's got it all to keep you in the fast lane. Ready to race? Let's Chumba. Pit stop at ChumbaCasino.com and play today.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
The tournament is here. March Madness is here. The craziness is here. Don't forget, hit that like button down below and share this link out so we can get more basketball fans here in the chat, hanging out with us, cheering on your favorite team.
Clayton steals it and lays it in. Clayton a good look. Hit 6.
Check out our new website, www.torontosportsinsider.com, and check out the link that is in the description as well as in the chat that shows where all of the live viewers are watching from. Are you an insider yet? Have you hit that subscribe button? I bet you have now. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for checking out our Bracket Mania campaign. A lot more coming up soon.
Gators just haven't been able to do so. Bernard Thompson with a 3.
This is on play. What a great scene this is.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Hey, you. Yeah, you. This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Thanks for chatting it up and enjoying this March Madness live hangout with us.
Team has lost in the second round every year since then. Meanwhile, John Shire had pretty much a stress-free Friday as Blue Devils never trailed. A 44-point win over Mount St. Mary's, and Cooper Flagg looked like himself coming off the ankle injury. 14 points in 22 minutes. Coach Shire talked about that and more with our Jason Benetti.
Coach, is there anything you didn't get out of that first game? It felt like as complete of an effort as you would want. What's your take?
I thought it was great just to experience the tournament. Thought our guys really competed, played hard, very workmanlike performance. And, of course, there's things I always feel we can do better. But for the first game, I was pleased, and you have to move on so quickly now, as you know.
As you watch Baylor, first 30 minutes when you watch tape, what jumps off?
Their talent jumps off at you. You know, they put 5 guys on the floor that all can really score, create their own shot. They have legit talent, and then you see their athleticism in addition. I mean, the way on misses or turnovers, they make you pay, man. They run it down the floor, and they're very capable of going on big runs with their talent and their speed.
Cooper came up short late on about 2-footer. Was there anything from the game that you saw and you were like, hey, I don't really like that? What was your take on that shot? Was there anything there you didn't like?
No, I thought he looked great. And besides the layup, wish he made the layup. But, no, I thought he looked great. I thought he was himself. He didn't pace. And the way he was moving, no concerns there.
We're joined by John Shire, Duke head coach. As you plan for Baylor yesterday all day and then the game today, what do you spend that day on with your players? How do you make sure you get them what they need?
Well, I think the biggest thing is you don't have time, to go through every action that Baylor runs, or they run a lot of stuff, but it's about concepts. It's about understanding the way they generally play on both ends of the floor, setting the tone for the readiness and competitiveness you have to have in a game like this, and then getting our guys rested physically and mentally to go.
When people look at your roster, they see somebody like Mason Gillis and they go, okay, quote-unquote, tournament tested. What do you get value-wise as a coach out of somebody who's been here before?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the tournament is like, it's unlike any other tournament in the world. You all of a sudden go from playing an entire season, and there's one and done just like this. And so the energy of the building, the value of every possession, just to have some guys that have been through it. And for us on our team, Tyrese Proctor's been through it as well. You mentioned Mason, of course, has been through it at the highest level. There's just a ton of value for somebody understanding what it's going to be like.
Houston, Texas, was it? Baylor Bears, right. Across from you were hooping.
That's right.
Your most indelible memory from that game?
I hit a 3 to go up 6 with about a minute 30, I want to say, or 2 minutes to go, maybe a little bit more. And I felt like that gave us separation. Great pass by Brian Zubek, by the way. He'd be mad at me if I didn't say he gave me that pass. And big-time back-and-forth game. Tweety Carter, who's on the staff for Baylor right now. Tweety was a great guard, great player. And to beat those guys, to me, was one of my proudest moments as a player.
If we go back and watch the video, are you one of those guys that's conducting the crowd? Like, what was your reaction after that, Meg?
I was a very, matter-of-fact, hit the 3 and get your ass back on defense kind of guy. That's what I was doing.
John Shire, good luck. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Jason.
Duke and Baylor, that is game number 2 in Raleigh, the 1-9 matchup in the East region. The 1-8 matchup in the West, boy, a good one so far. Florida and UConn, all even at 31. We're going to check the women's scoreboard. Second round underway. That's on the other side. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's with limited time savings on the supplies pros need. Get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $100 on every $1,000 you spend on select major appliances. And don't miss your chance to activate and earn 3 times the points on select DeWalt and Klein tools. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 3/28. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details on qualifying items.
You can just move through life, or you can find the things that move you. It's your choice. Choose joy. Choose the road. Choose your shot. Take it. Choose to get in there. Choose your calling. Choose your path. Just choose. We craft cars for those who choose to do more than simply move. You know who you are. Mazda. Move and be moved.
I wake up. Meanwhile at Xfinity.
Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered a super fast connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do!
Yeah?
Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with 2 people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speeds vary. Not guaranteed.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. Looking for fast fun? Go for a spin at Chumba Casino. Racing's fast, but Chumba takes it up a notch. Nothing beats the rush of those high-speed spins. Big thrills, daily bonus boosts, action-packed games. Chumba's got it all to keep you in the fast lane. Ready to race? Let's Chumba. Pit stop at ChumbaCasino.com and play today.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Tied at the half in Raleigh. Brad Heller in our Westwood One studios, and let's check the women's tournament scoreboard, sponsored by Maintain X. Maintain X is the asset and maintenance app that brings your unplanned downtime to zero. Try for free at maintainx.com/MVP. That's maintain and the letter x.com/MVP. Second round action underway. The 2-seed Duke was down 5 at halftime to the 10-seed Oregon, but the Blue Devils an 11-0 run to start the second half, 34-28. Duke has the lead now with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Notre Dame and Michigan, that is a 3-6 matchup. The Fighting Irish off to a 9-2 start in South Bend. A couple of 1 seeds in action later. You'll have South Carolina taking on Indiana, a 9 seed, and the 1 seed UCLA facing the 8 seed Richmond. Halftime score in Raleigh. And it's Florida and UConn all even at 31. A good one so far. We're going to get you back to the Lenovo Center and rejoin Jason Benetti and Sarah Kustok after this. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy. We proudly use Sherwin-Williams paint.
Feels like home.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong, you are fearless, you are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the Dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
The beauty of a tournament cheat sheet is that someone else spent thousands of hours watching film and analyzing stats so you didn't have to. When it comes to hiring for your small business, LinkedIn does the same thing with candidates. LinkedIn delivers the strongest hiring data and insights to help you identify the right candidates to make the best hiring decisions. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/SXM. That's linkedin.com/SXM. Terms and conditions apply.
Gators already out and shooting on the right side of the floor. UConn still in the locker room. Halftime here in Raleigh between the 1 and the 8 out west. And one note to clear up, Alex Caravan was given one of those fouls. He has 2. Samson Johnson just has 1, so they spread the wealth a little bit from the center position for UConn, which is not bad news for Dan Hurley, but you can't afford to lose Caravan either. UConn just 4 for 18 from 3, Sarah, but they're tied in this game. How?
Offensive rebounding. They've created extra possessions. They have 8 extra shots, and it's been a lot of the little things. Now, one area, though, they have 5 steals. They forced 8 turnovers on Florida. They have no points off of turnovers. They have not capitalized that. So they're winning the possession game, but there's areas in which, if you're UConn, you look at this and say, this may not be a tie game. We should potentially have the lead at this point.
Yeah, they've left some money on the table. Great point on the points off turnovers for Connecticut. That is rare to see a 0 at halftime, but they don't want to get into that running game with the Florida Gators. It's the 1 versus the 8. The winner gets either Maryland or Colorado State out in San Francisco next week. Third time they've met in the NCAA tournament, the Gators and the Huskies, in the last 30 years or so. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
At Progressive,
You can just move through life, or you can find the things that move you. It's your choice. Choose joy. Choose the road. Choose your shot. Take it. Choose to get in there. Choose your calling. Choose your path. Just choose. We craft cars for those who choose to do more than simply move. You know who you are. Mazda. Move and be moved.
I wake up.
At Meineke, doing car care right means our Meineke certified technicians fix whatever your car needs. We fix it right and back it up with nationwide warranties. Brakes? We do that. Tires? Yep, we do that too. Engine repairs, air conditioning, tune-ups, suspension, alignments, oil changes. We do it all. Visit Meineke.com today and schedule an appointment. Each Meineke is independently owned and operated. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
Chumba Casino is now partnering with 2311 Racing. Chumba is always free to play, no purchase necessary. Find hundreds of online social casino games like bingo, solitaire, and slots with new games dropping weekly. Grab your free daily login and welcome bonus with a chance to redeem amazing prizes. Play for free today at ChumbaCasino.com. It's time to cha-cha-cha-cha-chumba. Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the Dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
In 2007, the national title game between top-seeded Ohio State and the defending champion Florida Gators. Billy Donovan's starting 5 had stayed in school for a chance at repeating when 4 Florida players scored in double digits and they held the Buckeyes to a dismal 4 of 23 shooting from beyond the arc. Their mission was accomplished.
We're down to 3, we're down to 2, we're down to 1. That's it. We've said it before and we'll say it again. The Gators are national champions for the 2nd consecutive season. The University of Florida has won the national championship in college basketball, just the 2nd team to repeat in the last 34 years.
Joining the 1991-92 Duke Blue Devils as the only teams to accomplish the feat since John Wooden's UCLA Bruins back in the 70s. With another great moment in tournament history, I'm Kevin Kugler.
And the Gators are trying to knock out the most recent team, the 3rd team to do that, the UConn Huskies, the 2-time defending national champions right now. We're tied at 31. Let's check the halftime stats, sponsored by Barbasol. Barbasol shaving cream delivers a thick lather and close, comfortable shave for half the price of gels. Why pay more for a great shave? Choose Barbasol. UConn 4 for 18 from 3. They do have 9 points from Liam McNeely. 3 for 10 from the floor, but very willing to shoot here. Alex Caravan has 7. The high man of the game is Elijah Martin. He's 6 for 9 for Florida. 2 for 3 from 3. Only 13 total free throws in the game after UConn allowed 27 of them from Oklahoma on Friday night. So 31 all the tie, UConn and Florida, as we get set for half number 2. And time now for the second half key, sponsored by Wago. Trust your game, trust your wiring with Wago electrical connectors. Gear up at wago.com/hoops for your next electrical project. All right, Sarah Kustok, we're deadlocked, 31 all. How does Florida get away from Connecticut here?
Take care of the basketball and be more connected on the defensive side. They've had some breakdowns that have opened up looks for UConn, but I think more of it is just playing their game, and part of that comes from just the ball protection. For UConn, overall, I've been really impressed with how they have played. They've dictated their tempo more often than not, but it comes down to shot making for them, and they're a team that has relied on their offense throughout the course of the year. They've got to start knocking down some of their not only three-point shots, but some of their better looks that they've had in the mid-range.
When UConn knocked out Florida from the NCAA tournament to the national semifinal 11 years ago, it was a similar story. The Huskies hit 5 threes in that game, but 19 twos. DeAndre Daniels was 7 for 9 from 2 for 20 points. It was a UConn team that just battered Florida in the paint, and the Gators just didn't have enough size in that game. They also went 1 for 10 from 3 that day. An 0 for 3 from Scotty Wilbekin, the only 3 made Michael Frazier. On the other side, in 1994, when the Gators got the win in the Sweet 16 to knock out Connecticut, Andrew DeClerc was part of that team, and they ended up going to their first Final Four in school history with a big center who did very well for himself. All right, UConn huddling, the Florida Gators huddling on the left and right side of the court, respectively. If the second half is anything like the first half,
buckle up.
You almost sounded like you belonged with John Calipari for a second there. Calling the Hogs. They won yesterday. 31-all, UConn and Florida. And this has been an absolute joy of a basketball game so far. But you're right. I mean, you said it. UConn's tempo has been dictated so far. Time now for the start of the second half, sponsored by Indeed.com. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs feature helps you stand out and hire fast. Start at Indeed.com/credit. Ron Groover, our official, a very good official, will key it in to Will Richard, who sends it back for Condon, who did not score in the first half, the big for Florida, and he'll play it for Clayton. Gators basketball, right end, 20 minutes to go in a deadlock. Richard tosses up top. Chinyelu with 3 personal fouls. Hook a pass low left. Richard clanging into ball. He rises and goes window. It crawls off. Rebound down for UConn. Weak side right and Johnson. And they will slowly meander into the front court. Hassan Diarra clutching the ball. He hits a flaring McNeely, who's met by Richard. Off to Caravan, straight on a drive, right lane line, and he is tied up. Richard got the hand in. UConn will keep it. Possession arrow to the Huskies. It will flip back with 13 to shoot.
Well, both those plays out of the gate for each team, the defense is read very well. Everyone is a step ahead. That's impressive and shows a lot of what this coaching staff has done with their scouting.
Very sophisticated teams. Johnson a catch, right corner. Handoff Diarra with a jab step. He'll back it off against Martin off a screen from Johnson. He drives mid lane, lobs it up, and Samson Johnson pushes it down with 2 hands. He's got 6. UConn has the lead.
Chinyelu was right in front of him, just does not jump with the play and wasn't helping on that. He needs to be better there around the block.
He's dealing with 3 fouls. Martin to catch and shoot. Left wing 3, around and out again. Rebound McNeely. UConn basketball right to left. McNeely dancing on the dribble into the front court. He's watched by Martin. He'll double back with him with a right-hand dribble. Now off to Diarra, perimeter right. Martin picks him up. Diarra made that 3 at the end of the half. He'll roam down the left side of the lane. He's watched by Chinyelu. Lob for Johnson. Catch and score from the right block. 4 in a row. Samson Johnson, UConn's largest lead. 18:34 to go.
That time off the switch. Forced a switch by the Florida defense, which had Sampson just going up against a small.
Clayton hopscotch down the lane. He finds Condon. Shot fake, and he is fouled. Johnson came over. If it's him, that's his second personal, and it is. He had to initially late in the first half. They swapped one to Caravan. So 2 on Johnson, 2 on Terrace Reed Jr., the bigs for UConn. Alex Condon with those neon pink shoes at the right side lane line. They look like those candy hearts you get on Valentine's Day, but in shoe form.
Yes, they do. That sounds good right about now.
Yeah, any sugar in a 2-game day. Condon eyes the right side goal. 3 dribbles. The Aussie puts it up and scores. Florida within 3. March Madness is coming to a court near you. Experience it live as the nation's best college basketball teams compete for a chance to cut down the nets. Secure your seats today at ncaa.com/MBB tickets. What a tournament so far. Condon at the free throw line. He grew up playing cricket and water polo, and now he's thrust into the depths of an NCAA tournament round of 32 game. That free throw climbs off the rim. Rebound tapped by Caravan to Ball for Connecticut. He skates into the front court, drags the dribble right, driving right lane line. Sharp bounce past Diarra. In traffic, he rises, scores, and a foul. Diarra banging off bodies for a nickel lead for UConn. 37-32, 18-13 to go.
Diarra was in the right corner. Clayton on that right block and just loses sight of him as he goes back door.
Thomas Houck met him mid-air. Waist to waist, Diarra got the better of him. Hassan Diarra, who played 40 games last year, a bench player, a reserve on that title team. His free throw is true. UConn's largest lead now swells to 6, 38-32. Florida is in a big-time fight. The 1 seed out west. Condon cycles it around for Elijah Martin, who had the big first half. He has 14 points. Bounce pass Clayton, curling toward the lane. Rolling it left side, caught by Condon. Spit it out left wing. 3 in the air, that's too short. No good. Clayton and Florida one and done. And here comes UConn right to left. This is where UConn wants him, trying to back him into a corner and weigh them down with the pace. Diarra stalking the perimeter. Out to McNeely in front of his head coach Dan Hurley with his arms crossed. Outside left, Diarra. Watched by Martin. Up top ball. Springs for 3. Straight away, it's wide right. Rebound Condon high over Caravan. Hit ahead left side. Martin slicing down the lane. He tumbles over Ball, and it's a blocking foul called against Solo Ball, who tried to stand in the way, and down went the barricade at 17:21 to go.
And Clayton advances that from about 3/4 court on the right side all the way up to the left side at Martin, who attacks. You said it, the transition buckets, early offense looking to push. Going to be critical for Florida to play at their pace. UConn with the lead doesn't need to play catch-up, and that's what's so valuable for them, especially at this point of the game.
No, they can just kind of sap this clock. Free throw for Martin is around and out for Elijah Martin. The other problem for Florida is they just don't turn you over a whole lot. In the country, they're 328th in creating non-steal turnovers. So there's not a whole ton of pressure to force UConn.
And you can see it in how they play. Todd Golden talked to us yesterday about wanting to do that, wanting to disrupt. It's not, though, necessarily in the DNA of how these players have played through the course of this season.
Free throw from Martin shy. UConn basketball, empty set for Martin. Right side McNeely, tuck it into the post. Deep on the right side of the floor, Terrace Reed Jr., a shimmy. He leans in, he rises. It's around and out, and the rebound down for Houck in Florida. Pitch ahead, right side flank for Clayton. Between the legs dribble, hopping toward McNeely. He finds Houck inside right. Lost the ball, down on the ground. He spits it out for Clayton. Probing right side. Off to Condon left of the circle, who didn't take the 3. Martin couldn't get away from Diarra. They have to lob it back out for Clayton. 10 to shoot for Florida. They are grinding right now offensively. Clayton and the Gators tiptoeing left of the circle. Clayton guns it for 3, and a foul called. Clayton went down. Caravan at the wing has his hands in the air, and 3 free throws coming. Clayton did it 3 times on Friday, and he does it again here.
He rocks the baby with his crossover dribbles left side and just waits till he gets you to settle in. On that pull-up, Caravan trying to come out quick for the closeout, gets underneath his landing space. I know Danny Hurley is livid, but that is a foul.
It is the 3rd foul on Caravan. The crowd got a look at it, the UConn crowd. They don't love it, but
it doesn't get him up high. I think if you're initially looking where he hits him, he does not get him on the arm. He gets underneath the space where he's landing.
Free throw no good for Clayton. He clanged it off the rim. He's an 86% free throw shooter. Florida's not a great foul shooting team, but he is. Second shot arches up and through. It's a 5-point lead for UConn, 38-33, 16:30 to go. Get good at money so you can be a little bad. Invest well at empower.com. Clayton 1 for 2 at the line so far. 3rd shot is there. 38-34. UConn with the lead over 1 seed Florida. A little pressure now for Florida, trying to turn the ball over a little bit. They blitz McNeely. He's double-teamed, and he'll throw it ahead for ball. On the advance into the corner, left side for Reed. And with a couple of dribbles, playing it back underhand for Diarra. Marked by Houck on his right hip. He gives him the baseline. Diarra whirls into the lane. Drops it off for a cutting McNeely. And a 2 for UConn. Caravan down there to get the 2 for the Huskies. It's Alex Caravan to make it a 6-point game. Florida trailing by 6. Clayton shoving Diarra away. High on the left side, here is Richard with the ball. He moves it up top for Condon, challenged by Reed, who taps it back to the midline. Condon against Terrace Reed, lobbing it for Clayton, curling to the end line, has to save it, throwing it right for McNeely. Catch and run, McNeely into the front court, sweeping through, lays it up, no good. Rebound Condon. Florida counterattack. Condon down the middle of the floor, finding Clayton, and UConn gets back. 15:27 to go. It's the Huskies by 6 over Florida. Condon behind the back dribble, moving left, handoff, left wing 3, in the air and down. Will Richard cuts the lead in half for Florida at 40-37, 15:18 to go.
Handoff to the left side of the floor by Condon to Richard, and that's a significant 3 because Florida has not looked sharp offensively.
That's the first made field goal for Richard in the game. And there's a timeout on the court, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. You could save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit Progressive.com. UConn 40, Florida 37, 15:18 to go from the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. This is the men's basketball tournament.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions, a very handsome reward indeed. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average.
What's up, insiders, basketball fans all over the world? Thank you so much for hanging out with us today during March Madness. Oh man, we're having so much fun. We've got streams going for every single game of the tournament. We're tracking our brackets. It's a lot of fun in the chat. Please chat it up. Hit that like button down below and share this link out. That's going to be the best way to bring more basketball fans here to the chat. And we're already seeing thousands of fans come into the first stream of 16 on Thursday. I'm going to let Joe take it home. We appreciate you being here.
This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So like, subscribe, and share, because every click impacts SickKids' mission to heal the future.
I used to lack confidence until I shopped for a used car with Carfax. With Carfax, I was able to pause for the facts. I saw all the facts, like millions of cars, reported vehicle histories, and found the best values. Thanks to Carfax, I had the confidence to shop like a pro. Facts. A pro car shopper who feels like a winning ping pong champion. Facts. A ping pong champ whose legendary story is now a blockbuster movie. Facts. Starring me, Little Miss Confident. Yeah! Facts. Sorry, you get it. Shop the all-new Carfax.com.
40-37, UConn, 15:18 to go, and you can listen to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament for free on the Varsity Network app. Listen to every game live or on demand. Download the Varsity Network app now and search NCAA Championships. Florida 10 turnovers, but a huge 3 from Will Richard as the Gators within 3. Sarah Kustok.
And the Gators have caught a couple breaks, both with their turnovers and then some missed shots by UConn. Overall, though, the Huskies, give them credit. The times where they've lacked this season has mostly been on the defensive end. They have been very locked in and staying attached and reading all the actions in terms of screens and cutting by Florida.
Dan Hurley has talked about defensive toughness ad nauseum through this whole conference season of the Big East, as UConn will see the pressure in the backcourt. McNeely floats it for Diarra, who steps into the front court left. Toss it left side, solo ball around Diarra, who trots it to the right wing. Clayton doubles back. They had a chance at Caravan. The lob is taken away, and Florida on the flip trip, left to right, down the lane. Richard above everybody, and he is fouled. McNeely was underneath him, and the foul against Connecticut. Richard will go to the free throw line, and that's the live ball turnover we haven't seen UConn have so much today. Timeout on the court once again. The score, UConn 40, Florida 37, with free throws when we come back. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Well, the NASCAR Cup Series is on SiriusXM. We're back on the track Sunday,
2 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Straight Talk Wireless 400 from Homestead Miami Speedway.
Checker flag, baby. Yeah.
On SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
Great work, guys.
Get closer to everything that moves you wherever you are with the SiriusXM app.
Oh, man. You guys are awesome.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the SiriusXM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable.
Keeps this title charge on track, surely. To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favorite club.
It's Lady Gaga.
Let the mayhem begin.
Welcome to Gaga Radio.
Explore themes of chaos and transformation.
I'm taking over exclusively on SiriusXM.
A channel featuring her personal picks.
To you, from me.
And exclusive stories from her new album, Mayhem. Gaga Radio. For a limited time. Now on Channel 15. Or at home on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
Just use Indeed. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed sponsored jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Let's check the attendance, sponsored by Uber Eats. Uber Eats is delivering game day deals from hundreds of your local favorites all week. Order now on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details. There are 19,500 in attendance here in Raleigh, and the only way to tell the difference between Florida and Duke is that there's orange smattered in periodically across the way for the Gator fans. A lot of blue here in Raleigh, getting ready for our second game as well. But this first game, as a college basketball fan, you don't want it to ever end.
It's been a tremendous back and forth, high-level play on both sides, and I think a lot is going to be dictated on some of those self-inflicted errors you see, whether it's the turnovers, whether it's giving up offensive rebounds, because both teams have been playing hard. And again, this has been a very physical game, but well called because the officials have allowed these individuals to play.
Just a total of 18 personal fouls in more than 25 minutes of this game as Will Richard toes the right side foul line. The white sneakers, the white jersey. He'll bounce it once, bend the knees, put it up, and score. Florida now has the free throws mounting. 15 free throw attempts for the Gators already after UConn gave up 27 in the opening round against Oklahoma.
And a big part of that is getting it downhill on the attack. They've been solid from the three-point line, but not a high volume of three-point looks. More of it has been attacking the basket.
Second free throw good. UConn by one. They'll break the pressure. Ball springs for three, left corner. That's good. Solo ball, bags it, and it's 43-39 UConn. He hit a couple of massive shots late in Friday's game.
42% on the season. If there's someone you want taking three-point shots, it's him.
Top 25 in the country. Condon breaks down the left lane line, walled up by Terrace Reed. He'll back him in, scoop it for Richard. He slinks in and reverses it up for two. Richard going behind the backing in for a two-point game.
And Richard cutting from the right side of the floor all the way to that left block to get the handoff from Condon.
14-12 to go. UConn by two. Back and forth we go once again. Reed, high post, back to the goal. Hands off Caravan, who got caught in midair. Gets it right back on a bounce feed, and it's ticked out of bounds by Hauk and Florida. It's UConn basketball, 9 to shoot. Caravan didn't expect the closeout there.
Aberdeen was flying by him, and that was a good play by Hauk to be able to play a two-man defense between Caravan and Reed, even though UConn still retains possession.
Florida brings in the elm tree. Micah hand-logged, and it's 7-1 with 9 to shoot to play defense for Condon. Diarra scanning. He lobs it for Reed on a catch. Backing in on Richard. He elevates, and he's bodied and fouled. 2 free throws for UConn and Terrace Reed Jr., the Michigan transfer.
Florida getting caught in that out-of-bounds underplay where Handlog didn't end up switching and going out to a perimeter player in Caravan, and it'll force a tough defensive possession as Reed took over.
Foul is on Richard. Reed's free throw is good. Terrace Reed Jr., who has been a menace for UConn. He had an 18-rebound game at the end of the regular season. Has just his first point of the game, 44-41.
Much more traditional post player. He'll play with his back to the basket. He'll face you up some, but he is a rebounding machine.
Second one. Too strong. Rebound yanked down by Hauk for Florida. It's a 3-point game. The Gators can tie with a triple. 13:51 to go. Clayton pushes it left, gets it right back from Hauk. Back to Hauk, flaring right side. He'll swoop in. Shot is no good, but he's fouled. Terrace Reed Jr. thought it was clean. Instead, 2 free throws coming. Dan Hurley has his arms wide like he's a 737 on the left side of the court. Two free throws on the way for Hauk. That's the third foul on Reed. He had 4 in 20 minutes against Oklahoma. Hauk 3 dribbles. Eyeing the right side goal. Free throw is good off the front of the iron. He must have some topspin on that because he's done that maybe 5 or 6 times in this tournament so far. Front iron, backboard, and through.
Soft touch.
Delicate. 44-42 UConn, 13:44 to go. Second shot, front iron and off. Not enough spin that time. 1 for 2 for the Gators big man. UConn basketball slowly into the front court. Hassan Diarra crosses over on the dribble, stalking Aberdeen. 2-hand pass for Caravan, back to Diarra high on the left side. He'll switch back to Reed on the reversal right of the circle. Fake a handoff for Ball. Reed elbows out, drops it off Stewart, top of the key. Jockeying the dribble. He's jostled, he bounces it down low, and a foul called on Hauk, who reached across the right shoulder of Terrace Reed Jr. and the second on Hauk for Florida.
Reed and Stewart setting that screen up top. It forced a switch, and even though Hauk has size, he doesn't have the same width and physicality that Reed does, and he's able to draw that foul in the post up underneath.
Terrace Reed Jr. 250, Hauk 215. Ball catch and shoot, left wing rifle for 3, too strong. Rebound down, Diarra off the deflection. His shot won't fall. Reed wrestles it away and rises to score. UConn by 4, 46-42. A dogged pursuit of the basketball. 13 flat to go. Florida on the ropes in a big way. The SEC tournament champions. Aberdeen casing the perimeter up top for Hauk. Moving it left on a handoff 3, left of the circle. Richard falls too short. Rebound, Caravan steadies himself at the end line and turns it ahead for Diarra, trotting into the front court.
This has been a half-court game, and that's what favors UConn heavily.
All game long, UConn has owned the rhythm. Stewart sweeps through with the ball. Left end on a lob. Tough catch for Ball, and he spikes it off the leg of Martin, and it rolls out of bounds. Ball was teetering on the brink like Wile E. Coyote and just had to throw it off the nearest Gator.
And we talk a lot about the pace also because for Florida, they need to stay engaged for so long through the course of these offensive possessions by UConn in the shot clock. That's where the Huskies have caught them on many occasions.
Down to 11 to shoot for UConn. This layered offense instituted by Luke Murray, whose dad Bill is here today. Caravan, right wing, long triple, way too strong. I mean, that ricocheted hard off the backboard. Florida rebound. Left to right, Aberdeen sneaking down the back door. Reverse scoop with a lot of spin on it. Would not fall. It was too short. Rebound for Terrace Reed Jr. He kind of turned that over in midair.
It was a very tough angle. He was all the way underneath the basket.
Quick shot, though, leading to a long UConn possession. On a drive, Mahaney. Right-hand scoop. He got it down. Aiden Mahaney running the lane line like he did at St. Mary's. UConn by 6.
Credit Terrace Reed Jr. for the screen he set to open up the lane.
Right down the highway for Mahaney. Outside right, Martin on the catch. Enormous first half. Quiet second half for Martin. Hand logged and surveying. Toss it left-handed for Aberdeen. Trying to break down off the dribble. He's met by the long arms of Stewart, mirroring him. Drive, pull-up jumper for 2 is pure. Aberdeen rocked it into a 2. This is now a 4-point game and a timeout called by Todd Golden for the Florida Gators. UConn in control. Timeout on the court. The score: the Huskies from Connecticut 48, the Gators from Gainesville 44. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
All power. Experience the excitement of the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments on Sirius XM and on the Sirius XM app.
This place is in stunned disbelief.
Search March Madness to hear Westwood One's coverage of all the games, plus pre- and post-game shows and analysis on basketball and beyond with Coach K on College Sports Radio Channel 84. Get radio channels for your games at SiriusXM.com/sports or search March Madness on the Sirius XM app.
Hey everybody, I'm Andy Coe, and hear me and my awesome lineup on radio.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Are you checking your bracket during the commercial break like the rest of us? Thanks for chatting it up and enjoying this March Madness live hangout with us. So why...
Hey, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. Please take a second, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single college basketball game of March Madness. Every single game. Speaking of which, I've got to start that next stream right now. We'll see you back in the chat. Good luck to your team.
The Grateful Dead channel, Sirius XM 23, and at home on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
Mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow. Available at participating dealers.
To win in basketball takes a can-do spirit. So shave with Barbasol and inspire your team. Raise that red, white, and blue can and yell, "We can do this." If it doesn't work, you still got a great shave. Barbasol, it's a can of can-do.
Brad Heller back in the Westwood One Broadcast Center in Los Angeles. Time now for a women's tournament bracket update sponsored by Green Gobbler. Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. It's bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and it works. Green Gobbler, let the Gobbler get it. The 2-seed Duke in some trouble. 3 minutes to go in Durham, and the Blue Devils only up 3 on the 10-seed Oregon, 53-50. Duke was down 5 at halftime. Meanwhile, a 3-6 matchup. Notre Dame leads Michigan 43-26, about 2 minutes to go before halftime. Next game up will be a 4-5 matchup, Kentucky and Kansas State. A 1-seed South Carolina will face Indiana later. Another 1-seed UCLA will take on Richmond. And Westwood One is your exclusive home for the women's tournament from the Sweet 16 all the way to the national championship game. Let's get you back to Raleigh. We rejoin Jason Benetti and Sarah Kustok.
Thank you. 48-44, UConn the lead, 11:25 to go, and the big roar here is for Bill Murray, the great comedian whose son Luke is an assistant coach for UConn. As we mentioned, his team is up, as he was just shown on the video board. UConn basketball, perimeter right. Here's Caravan delivering for Reed, who turns it left. Aiden Mahaney with a basketball, the transfer from St. Mary's. Off to McNeely, 10 to shoot. Now Caravan outside right, eyed by Houck. Into the post, tuck it in for Reed. Wide right of the lane, driving hand-logged, and 2 to shoot. He's hemmed in, he rises, can't score, hit the bracket, and the rebound hand-logged in with the ball overhead for Florida. Left to right, Walter Clayton Jr. steps into a dribble, roaming left wing, crosses over, finds Houck. He sets up a three, top of the circle, no good, wide right, tipped by Handlogden. Second chance, no. Third chance, no. And down to the deck goes Terrace Reed. We got a push on Handlogden against the Florida Gators. That's number 4 of the half for Florida, and the Gator fans are jeering.
Well, that was a wide open look from the top of the key for Thomas Houck, and you don't get that to go. Handlogden was trying to hold off Reed because of the fact he was right there at the basket. A couple extra chances for Florida, missed opportunities.
Clayton just took a chance there to try to overplay on McNeely. Did not get the ball, so it's UConn basketball. Possessions minimized by the Huskies all day long. Mahaney sprints to the left, bluffs a three, drops it off for Reed, gets it right back on the replace and gets fouled on the way up for three. And it's Clayton getting a taste of what he does on a foul on a three-point field goal from right of the circle. Mahaney had that the whole way on the handoff to step to the right.
And he does, Clayton, come through and get Mahaney across that left forearm. So not his shooting arm, but the left forearm. Mahaney sold it a little bit at the end. No need to.
First free throw from Mahaney is good. UConn by 5, 49-44, 10-17 to go. Be a VIP at the men's Final Four in San Antonio with the NCAA Experience official ticket and hospitality packages. Official NCAA hospitality includes live entertainment, upscale food stations and beverages, appearances by NCAA legends, and much more. To be a VIP at the men's Final Four in San Antonio, visit ncaa.com/VIP. Second foul shot is good for Mahaney, who's had such a tough season. Transferring in, it wasn't the minutes that he expected. Dan Hurley felt a little bit like it was a mismatch at the point guard spot at points, but he's played very well today as the free throw is no good, so he goes 2 for 3 and hands UConn a 6-point lead. Florida basketball at the right end. On the weave. Richard curling to the left wing. Drop it off for Clayton right of the circle. Bouncing it down low. Chinyelu a two-hand spike. A great thread through.
Reed just loses track of where Chinyelu is at, hanging around the middle of the paint, and Chinyelu slips right behind him.
Chinyelu a big loss in this game with 3 personal fouls. He hasn't played a whole lot at all. Grand total of 10 minutes. UConn basketball surveying the scene. Terrace Reed Jr., the tall drink of water on the left side, handing it off McNeely. A jump pass for Reed, straight on. Back to the goal, finding Caravan. Summit 3 off the back iron. Big bounce off the iron, ends up with Mahaney. It's an offensive rebound. Drive McNeely. Cross lane pass and a foul as Reed went up to spike it down. And I believe they're going to count that on a possible goaltend. That's, in fact, what they will do. It's not a foul. It's a goaltend as Condon reached through the net to try to block it away.
And I don't think it was intentional by Condon, but Reed was so deep right next to the basket. Once again, a well-run and executed play by UConn.
To lead by 6 again, 9:19 to go. Clayton trying to get untracked in the second half. Piercing the lane, scooping with the left hand. It crawls off too strong. Rebound Reed for Connecticut, right to left. Hit ahead for Stewart. Show and go down the lane. His shot no good, allowing Florida a counterattack. Oh, wow, Dan Hurley might have wanted them to slow down here. Here's Martin, perimeter right for Florida. Lost the ball. He juggles into a pass for Clayton. At the bracket logo, two-handing it Condon, catch mid-lane, scoop it Chinyelu, and a spike with 2 hands low on the right side. Florida got a break there on the quick shot by UConn. It's a 4-point game. And a whistle and a timeout called by Connecticut, and it's got to be for that shot that came from Stewart in a low possession game.
And that's what Florida will bait you into doing because they're playing at such a fast pace.
That's Gator bait. Time out of the court. The score, 52-48. UConn with the lead by 4. 8:37 to go. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
With Sarah Kustok, Jason Benetti, our entire crew in Raleigh, UConn has Florida on the brink, 52-48. The 8th seed in the West leading by 4, but the tempo was a mismatch there for Dan Hurley, who called the timeout.
And he wants his guys to play it in the half court. It's what's worked for them not only this whole season, but especially in the first half and thus far in this game.
Stewart is out of the game, unsurprisingly. It's UConn basketball. Diarra floating it high left for Samson Johnson. The big guy drops it for Ball, who keys a three, top of the circle. That's no good. Rebound Chinyelu. Another long shot for Connecticut in a short-ish possession.
Earlier in the shot clock than you would anticipate for a look like that.
So it's Florida basketball. A cut by Richard, catching at the left wing. Marked by McNeely with high hands. Through Chinyelu at the summit. He walks it to the right. Finds Clayton perimeter right. Diarra on him. Closeout. Clayton for three. He bags it. Clayton knocks it down. Ron Groover will want to take a look at that during the break. He signals to the scorer's table to see if there was a foot on the line. For now, Gators within one. The bench is standing, whooping it up. Hand-logged, and it's 7-1. Has his hands in the air. UConn by 1. A drive, McNeely, right side. Shot no good. Rebound, Condon. Florida wrestles it free. Hit ahead, Martin swooping and tries to dunk it. Hits the back iron. Rebound, McNeely, and he's fouled by Chinyelu. That's his 4th personal foul. For now, they've changed the score to 52-50. It's a 2-point game, and we will hit the timeout.
What a tough swing for Florida. Could have had 2 on the break. Martin misses the dunk, and potential foul issues for Chinyelu, the big man who's come back in and has been solid.
He's one short of a DQ now. Timeout on the court. The score, UConn 52, Florida 50. 7:30 to go. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's with limited time savings on the supplies pros need. Get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $100 on every $1,000 you spend on select major appliances. And don't miss your chance to activate and earn 3 times the points on select DeWalt and Klein tools. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 3/28. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details on qualifying items.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile apps. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Before we go any further, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championships.
Find out what channel your team is playing on by going to SiriusXM.com/sports.
We're your ultimate pass on the field and in the stands. Sirius XM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
Sure, get the industrial-grade products right when you need them to help your business move forward when you call 1-800-GRANGER or click Granger.com. Ron Groover going to the scorer's table to announce that Clayton's shot was in fact a 3 as we initially noted. So the score is 52-51 upon review. UConn the lead, 7:30 to go, and UConn has kind of dragged itself into a quicker pace game.
That's going to be a part of what Florida continues to try and do with the pressure that they're putting on the perimeter and extending this Huskies offense.
Diarra top of the key halfway through the shot clock. Caravan rifles a 3 right wing and knocks it down. If you're going to make them, you can take them whenever. UConn by 4, another huge one from Caravan. 7:05 to go. Clayton walks it into the front court, leaning into a bounce pass, snapping it off for Condon left of the circle. Through Chinyelu with 4 fouls on the floor. Hand off Richard, curling to the foul line. He falls and he is fouled. Solo ball tried to pull the chair out. It won't be a 1-and-1 yet, but both teams have 6 personals at 6:52 to go. Second on ball. Samson Johnson exits for the moment for UConn. They'll play smaller. Reed comes back into the game. Clayton lobs it for Martin on the catch. Met by McNeely on a drive. Caravan pried it free from him. Big collision leads to a 3 for Richard, and he splashes it down. The ball just spat out to him on a fortunate roll, and Florida's within 1, 55-54.
Richard now 2 of 3 from 3. 2 of those in the second half. Critical, timely ones. It could have been UConn possession. Instead, 3 points for Florida.
With 6:25 to go. Caravan clutches top of the key, trying to bull his way by Richard, who puts up the barrier. Outside left, McNeely with the headband in Navy for UConn. Tuck it into the post. Reed trying to step back into a shot. Put it up. No. Late shot clock. Offensive rebound, Diarra. He'll play it back to Ball. Caravan reload. 3 left wing. He knew it was short. Rebound popped in the air. Florida's got it left to right. The Gators can retake the lead with a goal. 6 minutes to go. Sweet 16 on the line. Clayton roves to the right. He drives. Mid-lane scoop. No good. Offensive rebound. Chinyelu. Low left. He is fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. Tumbling down to the ground, and Martin uses all of his strength to get him up off the ground at 260, pulling him with 2 arms like it's tug-of-war. 1 point game, 55-54 UConn, 2 free throws for Chinyelu.
That opportunity comes, though, because Clayton finally gets right to the front of the cup. That's going to be important for him to continue to penetrate, looking to score and get to the basket.
That foul, by the way, was the 4th on Terrace Reed Jr. for Connecticut. So Samson Johnson with 3 will check back in after the Chinyelu free throw.
Terrace Reed Jr. has been extremely valuable for the Huskies with how he's rebounded and demanded the ball in the paint.
Free throw rings off the backside of the iron for the tie for Chinyelu. 55-54 UConn. Download the brand new Westwood One Sports app and catch every minute of the men's and women's tournament anytime, anywhere. Don't be left out with the Westwood One Sports app today. Chinyelu, second bid for the tie. That's no good, too strong. And the rebound, Caravan flying to grab it. UConn basketball leading by 1. How much time will the clock surrender on this possession? Diarra, top of the key, marked by Martin. On a handoff from Johnson, back to Diarra at the right wing. Ball curls, won't get it. Instead, play it to Johnson at the summit. Caravan tried to cut. He was walled off by Houck. Caravan gets it, riding down the lane, puts it up and scores it, but they'll say the foul was on the floor against Houck, who jostled him at the right elbow, and that will lead to a 1-and-1 for Caravan. In the NBA, that's a 3-point lead.
Bumped him early, though. He still wasn't quite yet. It didn't feel like on his gather before he got that bump. Was still just bringing it back up from a dribble.
5:23 to go. Caravan at the free throw line. The low point of his season in Philadelphia at the foul line as this one climbs over the rim and through. 56-54 54. UConn lost early in conference play at Villanova on 2 late missed free throws from Caravan, who's been part of the back-to-back title team. Second shot is true. UConn by 3, 57-54, 5:23 to go. Florida averaging 85 points a game in the 90s the last couple of weeks, down at 54. 5 to go or so. On a reverse pivot, here's Richard at the right wing. Snaps off a pass down low. Condon jams it down with 2.
Will Richard with a key play has 2 UConn defenders collapse on him on the right wing and just makes a laser of a pass to cutting Condon.
Right between 2 Husky arms. 57-56. The chant of defense rings out here in Raleigh. Perimeter right, Diarra off a Caravan screen. Play it up top, McNeely. His defender fell, and McNeely crumpled down over the corpse of Richard, which leads to a foul. That was like in wrestling when one guy ducks behind and the other guy pushes him over. It was just an accident, but you have to call it. So McNeely gets a 1-and-1.
Very unfortunate for Florida and Richard.
Yeah, McNeely just got bowled over. He was like the 6 pin. And he will go to the free throw line. Liam McNeely had 9 in the first half. He is scoreless in the second half. A basketball junkie who went to Montverde and played with Cooper Flagg. Free throw is good for McNeely. 10 points for him. It's a 2-point lead for UConn. McNeely all the way from Texas to play for Connecticut. A McDonald's All-American, the freshman of the year in the Big East. Bends the knees, extends the right arm, and the shot is good. McNeely makes it a 3-point UConn lead again. Possession by possession, we play on the margin. 4:39 to go. Clayton drops it off into the backcourt. Howe claims it. It was touched away by UConn, so no backcourt violation. Clayton hopping into a stop. Left side jumper is good for 2. Mid-range one-legger, 59-58.
Clayton does have 15 points, but it feels like he needs to get going. Just 4-12 from the field, used to a high level of consistency and volume of shooting from him.
He was on the team UConn beat to start this run of 13 straight NCAA tournament wins. Caravan clutches right wing, hitting a cutting Johnson, who leans into a shot off the window. No, but he is fouled. 2 free throws for Samson Johnson, a 75% foul shooter on the way. It was Albany, New York, a couple of years ago when UConn started this 13 consecutive streak in the NCAA tournament. Rick Pitino was the coach at Iona. Walter Clayton Jr. was one of the guards. UConn won, and they haven't lost since the year before. Free throw, good for Johnson, and UConn leads by 2. They haven't lost to the NCAA tournament for now 3 years running. Second shot on the way and on the mark. 61-58 Connecticut. We move down to 4 to play in Raleigh. Will we lose a 1 seed for the first time in this NCAA tournament 2025? Wraparound pass from Houck to Condon. 2 bigs on a handoff. Clayton, he shimmies to the right wing and hooks a pass right to Caravan. On the intercept, lead feed Diarra, slicing down the lane to kick it out to Ball, who lost it out of bounds. Richard provided the challenge, hopping into Ball's business, and it's out of bounds off of Connecticut.
What a break for Florida. Some excellent defense by Will Richard, smothering Solo Ball. And this is a big swing, given the fact that Florida had just turned it over.
Timeout on the court, the score. UConn 61, Florida 58, 3:41 to go. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Hear Europe's top soccer nations battle it out.
Hey Insiders, thanks so much for hanging out with us today and listening to the broadcast of this NCAA First Four March Madness matchup in our SickKids Bracket Mania campaign. All right, we are live. Check out that link that's pinned in the chat and see our amazing goal. We are on the road to passing 100,000 subscribers / insiders here on the channel. Are you an insider yet? Have you hit that subscribe button? I bet you have now. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for checking out our Bracket Mania campaign. A lot more coming up soon, especially, hopefully, with some help from Mr. Joe Bowen, the Hall of Fame announcer of the Toronto Maple Leafs, getting ready for that playoff run. We'll see you back in the chat.
XM app. It's rock you can feel deep down in your soul. Songs that remind us of where we've been. And inspire us to keep going. It's SiriusXM Southern Rock. And it's one of over 200 channels you can hear anytime with the SiriusXM app on your phone or at home on your computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
Spend your Sunday with a Western Conference battle in MLS on SiriusXM FC.
The way across and snapped in, and it's Osman Bukhari who gets the party started in Austin.
It's a showdown in the Lone Star State as Austin duels with expansion side San Diego FC.
Oh, it's Anders Dreyer's third goal in 3 games, and he puts San Diego in front.
Austin versus San Diego today at 4 Eastern on SiriusXM FC, channel 157 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
Live app, and you can listen to every Westwood One broadcast, the men's and women's basketball tournament for free. Just look for the headphones icon on any live game, and if you're in the car, it seamlessly integrates with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Get the official NCAA March Madness Live app today. It's UConn 61, Florida 58 in a 1-8 game here in Raleigh. 3:41 to go. Florida has minimized the turnovers. UConn some quick shots, but the Gators just can't take control of this game, Sarah.
Well, and there's been a few critical turnovers that they've had in these last few possessions where UConn has really shown their ability to read where they're going with the pass. They've been a step ahead. Interested to see if Florida can finally retake this lead, given the fact that the Huskies have done a very good job of, again, playing at the tempo they want to. They've turned this into a half-court game, and that has not been advantageous for the Gators' execution.
That's what they did Friday against another SEC opponent in Oklahoma. Just 6 fast break points for Florida today. Take the handoff, high post, now give it to Clayton, who tries to tuck in a pass. Condon, a tough catch. He did score, but they'll say a foul on the floor. Foul on Samson Johnson, that's his 4th. But there is that catch radius for Condon. Man, soft hands, Sarah.
And a dime by Walter Clayton Jr. We've seen that play quite a bit. The high ball screen, Clayton will go right, and his big will cut left behind the defense.
Condon is a 61% foul shooter at 6'11" from Perth. 3 bounces. He stares at the goal. His shot is good. He'll get a second one. Condon, a big front end of the 1-and-1. 61-59 UConn.
Just a sophomore. He made a tremendous jump this season, but you want a little bit more from him here today in terms of the production that he's put on the floor. These free throws are critical.
He closes his eyes, takes a deep exhale, bends the knees, and puts it up, and it's short, and he knew it. And the rebound, UConn, solo ball with 2 hands. 3:23 to go. How many possessions remain in this game? Pounding the dribble ball. Steps into a pass, McNeely high on the left side. On the weave, Diarra. Right hand bounce at the waist. Diarra at the right perimeter. Finds Caravan flaring and driving on Houck. His shot is an air ball. Rebound for Condon, who had the defense. Florida left to right. 3 minutes to go. Condon nearly ran into Clayton. He's hounded by Caravan with a high hand. He shoots over him, and he scores it. Clayton a splashdown in close quarters with Caravan. Florida leads 62-61. A rapid-fire trigger again from Clayton out of nowhere. UConn down 1. Where's the answer for the Huskies? McNeely high right. Headed back tap by Richard. Hit ahead Condon to him. It's a stop. A touchdown for the Gators. 64-61. Timeout Dan Hurley. It was a 70-foot pass from Condon to Richard and a 2-hand sledgehammer to rock Raleigh.
What a swing for Florida.
Timeout on the court. The score, Florida 64, UConn 61. 2:27 to go. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
The NWSL season is in full swing, and SiriusXM FC is giving you a front row seat.
Marta, Banda! What a strike!
From American stars to international icons, hear the best in women's soccer battle it out every Friday night in the Game of the Week.
Smith one-on-one! Put it away!
All leading up to on-site coverage of the NWSL Championship game.
The Orlando Pride are the NWSL champions!
Catch NWSL Fever on Sirius.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Are you checking your bracket during the commercial break like the rest of us? Thanks for chatting it up and enjoying this March Madness live hangout with us. So why...
Hey, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. Please take a second, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single college basketball game of March Madness. Every single game. Speaking of which, I've got to start that next stream right now. We'll see you back in the chat. Good luck to your team.
61.
With just 2:30 to go.
They added 2 seconds onto the clock, which have wound down now as UConn keys it in. Diarra leaning over the dribble, watched by Martin closely. He'll switch on ball. Around the arc right, Diarra picked up again by Martin in a stance. To the summit for Reed on a handoff ball. He'll trigger a three left of the circle. It's good! Dead central for the tie. Solo ball. 64 all, 2:07 to go.
Dribble handoff, weaving for UConn around the perimeter, and solo ball has hit some critical three-point shots already in this game, none bigger than that one.
2 minutes to go. Tied at 64. Florida in the white and blue and orange. Condon right of the circle, facing up with Reed, trying to shoo him away. He got it hooked to his hip, and he's fouled by Diarra. It's going to be a 1-and-1 coming at the perimeter. The tall Aussie Condon will go to the free throw line with 1:52 to go. He's not a great free throw shooter, 61%, and he pulled the string on his last one and missed it short.
The positive is that he's been at the line. This isn't his first few trips here today.
He came out of Australia's Center for Excellence. A sporting young man in 4 sports. First free throw is good. He rattled it down. Florida takes the lead again, 65-64. 1:52 to play. The Gators, who are 11-1 all time as a 1 seed, the only loss to Connecticut 11 years ago. Condon shrugs his shoulders, lets the air out, dribbles a couple of times. Near silence here. Free throw. Short again on the second one. Rebound punched out away from McNeely, and Florida recaptures. Clayton on a drive. Hard to the rim. He is fouled on the way up. McNeely had his hand on it, and Florida reached in to just 5-knuckle it away.
Elijah Martin with the defensive, or I should say offensive play potentially of the game. Just taps it back out. Allows Florida an extra possession. It's been UConn that's creating a lot of those second looks. This instance, it's Florida.
The last 6 offensive rebounds in the game. The Florida Gators have 4 of them. Free throw for Clayton is good. Florida by 2, 66-64. It's 13-11 now, offensive rebounds for Connecticut, but a huge one for the Gators. Clayton bends the knees and fires and scores. 67-64, Gators with the lead. The crowd from Gainesville swells at the behest of the Florida bench on the right side. Ball snaps it off for Caravan. Now Diarra, the guard around the perimeter, circling with the dribble. He finds McNeely. He tees it up for the tie left wing. It's front iron, no dice. And the rebound hugged down by Richard for the Gators. 1:23 to go, up by 3. Now Florida may try to minimize possessions and sink into this lead. Houck shirt untucked to Condon, big to big, around the arc right. Clayton's got the dribble. He pounds it into the deck. He fires a 3 and got it! Same spot, same result. Walter Clayton Jr. is a volcano in a heartbeat, and the Gators lead by 6.
Off the dribble, quickest trigger you want to find. Gets that handoff from Condon and creates just enough space on the right wing, same spot from Diarra, who has been just cloaking him all night.
The fastest gun in the West region. Timeout on the court. The score, 70-64. Florida the lead, 1:03 to go. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer, don't miss Power Torque Tools DIY days at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, save $20 on a Power Torque 248-piece mechanics tool set. O Rewards members get a $5 reward. Power Torque professional hand tools come with a lifetime guarantee. Visit your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Florida leads 70-64. Walter Clayton Jr. has given the Gators, with 1 minute to go, a 6-point advantage. McNeely wanders into the front court. Ball stares at the goal. Left side, McNeely flaring to ball right wing. He'll drive on Clayton. Floated up with the left. Hit the bracket. No. Follow tap. Reed. No, sir. Rebound. Condon wrestling away. He's hugged and fouled. Condon twisting and turning with the ball in his clutches, and he got it away, extracting it for 2 free throws for the Gators.
And that's a big rip and rebound by Condon. And UConn doesn't look to foul him immediately. Took a few seconds there off the clock as he was getting it up the floor.
Condon to the free throw line. He takes a breath. Eyes locked in on the floor. He turns to the right side rim. Free throw is no good. It crawled off the back iron, then the front of the tin, and fell to the ground with 43.4 to go. The door is still open for Connecticut. It's a 6-0 run for the Gators in 69 seconds. Shirt untucked. Condon free throw is no good. Strong. Rebound tip to Martin, low right. He'll slam it down. Look what I found. Elijah Martin. 72-64 Florida. Todd Golden said his toughness was the key. That's why they got him. You saw it right there. Here's Diarra wheeling behind him. McNeely pulling toward the lane. He'll scoop it up and in for 2, and a timeout for UConn. 28 seconds to go. 72-66. The Gators with the lead. Dan Hurley is looking directly at Tommy Morrissey and frustrated on a call there. But UConn has been outplayed down the stretch by these Florida Gators, who are endless energy.
Well said. And it's been the Gators who've come up with offensive rebounds when it's mattered most. The extra effort plays, the hustle plays, and that's what's allowed them to have these opportunities at the basket.
The Florida band in the background with that ominous music. Typically a shark fin in the water, but instead it's a gator tail that is menacing the Connecticut Huskies, who haven't lost in 13 NCAA tournament games.
UConn had control over this one for the better part of the game, and it wasn't just about the score. It was about the tempo. It was about the cadence in which this game was going. Florida was disjointed in many cases on the offensive and defensive side, but give credit in particular to the 3 experienced players in Creighton, in Martin, and in Richard, making the little plays and making the big plays, and because of it, it's allowed Florida to have this lead.
It was one of those superhero movies where all is lost for your hero, right? But somehow the key to the handcuffs is within reach, and the bad guy, for Florida at least, UConn, just somehow gives up the ghost and lets that key into the hand of the protagonist. UConn was leading by 6, took 2 quick shots. Florida immediately synthesized it into 5 points, and UConn relaxed its grip on the game.
A 3 by Clayton, and then a steal and a get-ahead from Richard, and that's all it took. And you've been able to see it in the eyes, the confidence of Florida, and UConn more so just trying not to lose.
Inbound Clayton running the end line. He throws it in for Martin. Bounce it back for Clayton. Jump feed down the sideline. Condon met. He extracts it for Martin, who's fouled by Ball. 7 seconds off the clock. 21.6 to go. And Elijah Martin will head to the free throw line.
And maybe an important final pass there from Condon to Martin, sending Martin to the line as opposed to Condon. Once again, a 74% free throw shooter Elijah Martin is, though he's an individual who's been in these circumstances with this type of pressure a lot throughout the course of his career.
At Florida Atlantic with Dusty May on that run to the Final Four. Free throw is good. 73-66 for the former All-State high school quarterback who wants the ball in his hands. Out of the state of Mississippi, Elijah Martin with a look to his left at the lane line. Now he focuses on this free throw for Florida. The one-seeded Gators on the surge. Free throw is good. Right down the middle, 74-66. Florida with the lead. Hassan Diarra loads up to throw it in. Got it to Reed. Back to Diarra. Into the front court left. 15 seconds to go. McNeely catching and running down the lane. Met by Condon. Shot is up and good. No timeouts for UConn. 6-point game. 11.9 to go. Inbound to Houck. He tips it to himself. Knocked away Diarra. Caught by McNeely, and he is fouled with 8.6 to go inside left. UConn has a pulse here with 8 6/10 to go. Oh, my.
And Clayton jumping on that pass, inbounding it to get it over McNeely, and it left it off target and high for Houck, which is what led to the tip and the turnover.
Caravan over at the scorer's table. We're going to have a substitution on the final timeout called by the Gators here with 8.6 to go. Ron Groover to the scorer's table here. Let's see.
Is under review.
Okay, so it's not the timeout by Florida. It is a game clock issue with 8.6 left, trying to make sure it's exactly right here. If you make these, you do have to foul, but can you trap for a moment, see if you can get another steal? I mean, there's only 8.5 seconds left.
A very quick moment, and that's part of what you do. You're always going to go for
9.1 seconds.
Oh, 9.1. I mean, you're talking about a good chunk of time, that 0.5.
A two-possession game at this point, but still you got some change to pick up here at the line. There's still life, and there's still breathing room.
2 free throws for McNeely. 86% for the year. He's 4 for 4 today. The freshman McNeely waiting for the ball. He's got it at the left side lane line. He hunches down, fires and scores. 74-69, Connecticut trailing. Jaden Ross comes in for length defensively. His first minutes in this tournament. Seconds, really, at 9.1 to go. UConn doesn't have minutes. Second one is there. 74-70, Florida with the lead. The Gators have turned it over 12 times. Clayton sees a big stack of guys and a foul called against UConn. Richard went down right into the Connecticut Husky Diarra, who bear hugged him.
Well, obviously you're initially going for a steal, but no time coming off the clock.
Solo ball fell as well. Martin sprang free.
On both elbows, both UConn defenders, a little bit of a hug and a pull, trying to stay tight to the Gators at the breaking points.
Richard's foul shot is around and out. 74-70, the Gators with the lead. 9.1 to go. There's a chance.
Felt like he rushed that a little bit.
Richard, 83% for the year. Glaring at the right side basket. Second shot is good. Lead is 5 for Florida. 9.1 to go. McNeely will inbound it.
Some soft pressure here by Florida at three-quarter court.
Trying to gum up the works a little bit. Inbound to Ross. Back to McNeely mid-stride. Into the front court. He's fouled by Clayton. He ran right into him. 6.1 to go. And if McNeely makes both of these, it's a one-possession game.
It's an interesting call here because McNeely does go right into Clayton. Now, Clayton doesn't get out of his way, turns his back.
Todd Golden was yelling, why?
Still a good amount of time left here.
They're going to review the game clock as well. Just what Florida wants is a tenth of a second of heartache. The Gators leading 75-70. 2 free throws coming for McNeely. Again, Ron Groover to the scorer's table on his 17 of 20 from the foul line. Yeah, it looks like this is going to be something like 6.7 or 6.8 based on our replay we're looking at courtside. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, right around there. Which, again, assuming, which is a big assumption, but that McNeely knocks down these 2 free throws, you're looking at a one-possession game. And Florida, today in particular, has not been good from the free throw line. Just 20 of 32 so far.
Leaving some money on the table. The Gators, they're over at the scorer's table. UConn on the left side bench.
Clock will be corrected, 6.6.
6.6, so an extra half a second again. UConn's gotten a full second on these reviews. That is the longest second in Gator history for these fans here who barely have the energy to boo. They're so anxious.
They felt like they had it in hand. I think this Florida group did as well. A few miscues have opened the door.
First free throw for McNeely. Gotta have it. He does. He rattles it down. 75-71 Florida. Alex Caravan ready to check in. Florida does have one timeout remaining if they struggle to key it in. McNeely's second on the way, and there. It's a 3-point game. Florida 75-72. Caravan in, McNeely out. Caravan will guard the inbounder, Clayton. They might try to return it to him. A great free throw shooter. Inbound pass. He looks left. He bounces it for Hauk, who is fouled by Ross with 5.9 to go. We'll see if they look at the clock here. It seemed like 0.6 is reasonable, but Hauk, who lives at the foul line, an 81% free throw shooter for the year, 3 for 4 for the game. 1 would really make it difficult for Connecticut. Thomas Hauk, who grew up with a Florida Gators lunchbox in Pennsylvania, a Tim Tebow fan, a Gator through and through from the north. First free throw is good. It just sat down. There were hearts in throats in Gainesville, but it sat for him. 76-72, some Gator magic.
The important one, and this could give you a lot of breathing room if you're the Florida Gators to see this go through. Again, UConn, no timeouts left.
Second shot on the way, and there. He striped it, 77-72. Florida the lead. They'll back off the pressure. Reed scoops it for Diarra into the front court with 2 seconds to go. To McNeely, a 3 at the horn. That's good, but Florida is the team to pierce the NCAA tournament force field that is Connecticut. The 2-time defending champs go down 77-75, and the Gators head to the Sweet 16.
This certainly did not look like a matchup of a 1-8 seed. The Huskies were every bit of the 2-time defending champions, and you would anticipate the amount of execution, hustle, and effort, give them a ton of credit. But overall, the Gators had the composure and poise to close things out. They made the plays when needed on both sides of the floor, and they will advance and keep their hopes of a national title here in 2025 alive.
They also, Sarah, answer the question of, can Florida win a game in the tournament that's based on grit? They did in a big way, down 6 late in the second half.
They not only came back from a 6-point deficit in a deficit for much of the game, but also did so in a style and a manner that is not their characteristic way they want to play. It was very much of a half-court game, and they showed an ability to make the right moves, hit the big shots, and the important plays when needed.
UConn opened the door with a couple of early shots, and suddenly, dramatically, Florida swung this game back into its column to take the lead and get the win. The largest lead of the game was 8, 74-66, as Elijah Martin walks over to the table to chat with us as the Florida Gators get the win. Welcome back, Elijah, and congratulations on going to the Sweet 16.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
So, okay, you're at the foul line. You sneak in for a rebound and get yourself 2. How did you guys come back in this game? What grit did it take?
We just had to turn our focus up. You know, we was sleepwalking sometimes, giving up threes, giving up back cuts. But down the stretch, we had to super lock in.
When you look at this game and look at the way things finish, what do you take from this one in particular in coming back from a deficit and closing it out when needed?
Honestly, I'm just super proud that we found a way to get it done. Because at some point they had all the momentum, and somehow we was able to get it back. So we know what we got to work on, but let's get ready for San Francisco.
You ever played with a quicker trigger than Walter Clayton Jr.?
No way. I almost cursed, but no. He shoot the peel off the ball, man. Super proud of him and his development and everything he's going in his career. So super proud.
Congratulations on going to the Sweet 16. What's the ceiling for this team, do you think?
I don't think there is a ceiling. You know, we got so much to get better from. We're going to look at this film, and we're going to get in the lab and get ready for San Francisco.
Enjoy the trip. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Elijah Martin had an enormous first half to help Florida stay in this ball game. And the Gators, senior that transferred from FAU, 18 points. Clayton had 23. Final score goes the Gators' way, 77-75 over Connecticut. When we return, we'll have more of the All-State postgame report. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Every Thursday at 6 Eastern.
I'd like to just talk a little bit about college basketball.
Join Hall of Fame coach Mike Krzyzewski for Basketball and Beyond on Sirius XM College Sports Radio. Hear conversations from all sports and beyond.
Marcus Freeman, Peyton Manning, Don Staley.
Plus, hear Coach K's unique perspective on the biggest stories in college basketball.
There's not an off night in that league.
Don't miss Basketball and Beyond with Coach K. Thursdays at 6 Eastern on Sirius XM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
The tournament is here. March Madness is here. The craziness is here. Don't forget, hit that like button down below and share this link out so we can get more basketball fans here in the chat, hanging out with us, cheering on your favorite team.
Clayton steals it and lays it in. Clayton a good look. Hit 6.
Check out our new website, www.torontosportsinsider.com, and check out the link that is in the description as well as in the chat that shows where all of the live viewers are watching from. Are you an insider yet? Have you hit that subscribe button? I bet you have now. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for checking out our Bracket Mania campaign. A lot more coming up soon.
what a great scene this is. Stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Thanks for chatting it up and enjoying this March Madness live hangout with us.
Moves along. Time now to select the player of the game, sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows what makes Springfest savings even better. Our member-only doorbuster deals. Shop these limited-time savings before they're gone. Lowe's, they help, you save. Tough choice, Sarah Kustok. Your Lowe's player of the game is?
It is, because those three guards were tremendous, but I'm going with Will Richard. 15 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. To me, he hit some of the most timely three-point shots. He created some turnovers by UConn when needed, some of those extra rebounds. His fingerprints were all over this game. It was a top-to-bottom team effort, but he's the guy to me that hit the trigger points when most necessary.
13 of those 15 points came in the second half. So those timely points for Richard as Duke and Baylor are warming up on this floor here in Raleigh. And what a sequel from Game 1. We'll see what we have for the Baylor Bears, the 9 seed, and the Duke Blue Devils. So about 20 minutes until we get going, 25 minutes or so here in Raleigh with game number 2. For now, we go back to our Westwood One Broadcast Center.
All right, Jason, thank you very much. Exactly what you want in a standalone game, in Florida and UConn provided that to kick off this Sunday. The Gators, the 1 seed in the West, moving on to the Sweet 16 with the 2-point win over the 2-time defending champ UConn Huskies, their 13-game tournament winning streak coming to an end. And this one, you knew it from the jump. It was going to be entertaining as we jump into some highlights of this one. Back and forth first half, and it ended with a bang.
9 to shoot for UConn, 15 in the first half. Diarra, clock bleed down to 5. Diarra still dribbling at the hash mark. 2 to shoot. He has to catapult, and he knocks it down. It is March, isn't it? We're tied at 31. Clayton to retaliate left side. Tosses in the corner. That 3 is up, and no good. It swirled around and out for Richard. Oh, that was 3 quarters down. What a fun end to this ride of 20 minutes in Raleigh in the first half, and we've gotten nowhere. We're tied at 31.
So 31 all at halftime. UConn scored the first couple baskets of the second half, and the Huskies led for most of the second half. On a few occasions, they were up by 6, but then Florida behind Walter Clayton Jr. started to make its run.
Condon nearly ran into Clayton. He's hounded by Caravan with a high hand. He shoots over him, and he scores it. Clayton a splashdown in close quarters with Caravan. Florida leads 62-61. A rapid-fire trigger again from Clayton out of nowhere. Where's the answer for the Huskies? McNeely high right. Headed back tap by Richard. Hit ahead Condon to him. It's a stop. A touchdown for the Gators. 64-61. Timeout Dan Hurley. It was a 70-foot pass from Condon to Richard and a 2-hand sledgehammer to rock Raleigh.
8-0 run for Florida to take that lead, but solo ball answered out of the UConn timeout. He tied the game with a 3, 64 all. Alex Condon hit 1 of 2 free throws. The Gators go back up. Clayton nailed a couple of free throws. 67-64, under 2 minutes to go, and it sets us up for the Wrangler highlight of the game.
Condon big to big around the arc right. Clayton's got the dribble. He pounds it into the deck. He fires a 3 and got it. Same spot, same result. Walter Clayton Jr. is a volcano in a heartbeat, and the Gators lead by 6.
The highlight of the game sponsored by Wrangler. Here's to the early risers, the go-getters. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles to kickstart your day. Wrangler for the ride of life. Florida hit just enough from the free throw line. Liam McNeely a 3 at the buzzer. That's why it's a 2-point margin. But Florida's moving on. 77-75. The Gators headed to San Francisco. They'll take on Maryland or Colorado State coming up on Thursday. 77-75. Gators win it. We continue with the postgame show after this. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed Sponsored Jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Florida's going to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2017. They snapped UConn's 13-game tournament winning streak, 77-75 the final score. Brad Heller back in our Westwood One Broadcast Center. Let's check the schedule of tournament games coming up here on Westwood One, sponsored by the 2027 X15 engine from Cummins, featuring better fuel efficiency, immense power, and backed by 25-plus years of experience. The 2027 X15 is built to rise above the challenges of tomorrow. The X15 forever rising. Next up in Raleigh, Duke and Baylor. The Blue Devils and the Bears are warming up. The 1-9 matchup in that East region. Scott Drew's Bears as the 9 seed, the underdog.